Good afternoon and welcome to Virginia for the first game of our Sim World Hoops doubleheader. We have a fantastic matchup. Legacy Conference playoff implications on the line. Beasts of the East, 17-10, playing host to SimWorld Atlantis, 12-13. I am Marsh, joined in the booth by Siege. Siege, how are we doing today?
Oh, we're doing wonderful. We're feeling full. We're excited for the matchup we got. As you said, major playoff implications for both teams, seeding-wise, and for one of these teams, just whether or not they're going to make the final cut. And that being SimWorld Atlantis, they need this win more than any win they've needed this season. Obviously, as we get down to the end, that's going to be the case. Matchup-wise, I'm excited to watch Blaine Kidd and Cruz Redmond go at it. Two of the most talented guys that we have in our league, and they should be matched up with each other from the start.
Yes, SimWorld Atlantis coming in at 12-13 now, half a game behind Cascadia, who won, it was yesterday. They need the win to draw back even at 500 with Cascadia, but also avoid the looming Bad Boys basketball, who are playing host to Queen City Kings as we speak. So a must-win there, but they're not the only one necessarily that's in that. Beasts of the East, despite sitting at 17-10, will be looking to get a win because they have Beyond the Arch rampaging from behind, 6 wins in a row for Beasts of the East as they have climbed the Legacy Conference rankings. What are you looking for? Let's start with Beasts of the East, the home team. What do they need to do today to win this game?
Well, we know that they're a very efficient three-point shooting team. They don't necessarily take a lot of them, but they shoot them at a very high percentage. They need to make sure they continue with that trend, as well as they're the best defense in the league in terms of opponents' points per game and opponents' field goal efficiency. Those are going to be big things because Atlantis is going to come out hot. We know they shoot a lot. They don't shoot at a great percentage, but they thrive off of shooting a lot of threes and getting a lot of offensive rebounds. So they're going to need to keep that defense tight, disciplined, make sure they're putting bodies on people to get the rebounds, and not let those second opportunities kill them.
Well, SimWorld Atlantis has the third worst team field goal percentage, but has the 5th most offensive rebounds, using second chance opportunities to keep possessions alive and end up making the big buckets. The big names for SimWorld Atlantis, of course, Theophilus Hilton, Blaine Kidd, the two leading scorers, though, Siege, they've done it at a inefficient shooting clip.
Well, I mean, that's what this team does. It's almost like they're the almost run-and-gun offense of this league. They put up a lot of shots, and so it follows that they're going to have the most opportunities for those offensive boards. But here's the thing. A team can miss as many shots as they want. If you give them enough opportunities for second chances, they're going to make it eventually. So that's in the games that they've been able to win, that's what they've been able to thrive off of. Beasts of the East has to be really careful about not letting them get those second chances.
We are underway. Pull up 3 late in the shot clock won't fall. That's the first shot attempt there. Eric Buskey can't get that one to go for Beasts of the East. Headed down the opposite direction and turned away by Buskey. In transition, tries to get a 3 there. That's right. Right can't get that to fall. So 0 for 2 to kick things off here for Beasts of the East. And we are in that home stretch of the SimWorld Hoop season. Just 4 games left, including this one for Beasts of the East. 6 games left for SimWorld Atlantis. Playoff implications, as we've talked about, certainly on the line here in Virginia.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we talked about Atlantis needs this win just to potentially stay in the running. But still, for Beasts of the East, one of the better records in the league. I mean, seeding is a big deal. If they were to lose this and Beyond the Arch was to win tonight, Beyond the Arch is only a half game back from them. And from there, I mean, they take their spot. And we're looking at a Beasts of the East Gotham 5 potential first-round matchup. Interdivision could be fired.
Here's Levin Cutler, can't get the first to go. Looks like that might have been blocked there for Smith. And then the foul called on Smith, who I believe had the opening bucket of the game, but that will send Busk to the line. And you mentioned the potential matchups. That's where the conversation and the eyeballs start going to. If Beasts of the East were to fall to 6, you mentioned it, they'd have that matchup against Gotham 5, a team that they lost to. They blew a big lead and ended up losing to Gotham 5 just a couple weeks ago in Hell's Kitchen. So potential matchup problems could be there. Beasts of the East, a team that relies heavily on Cutler as Busk misses the first free throw. Cutler and their second big man, JoJo Kearney, when they weren't on the floor against Gotham 5, they kind of got beat up a little bit in the paint and on the boards. that's a potential thing to keep an eye on. Of course, every single win is going to change these rankings, but the two things we probably can be certain of, it's the originators at the number 1 seed, and Rocky Mountain seems in good shape after the win last night, but just a 1-game lead over Gotham 5, each team with 5 games to play. So plenty of movement still to be had here in the final weeks, the final month of the SimWorld Hoops regular season. Here's Atlantis. That's going to be Blaine Kidd. Gets it up and in. Hello.
That's saucy.
Blaine Kidd, acrobatic.
And I think we forget how good Blaine Kidd can be sometimes. He's ranked 35th, but when he's on, he's a top 20 player in the league. I mean, he, as we know, holds the only triple-double of the year this year, and he's just one of those guys that when he really gets going, he's as good as anybody.
And the foul there. Levin Cutler called for the foul. That is going to send Hilton to the line. Chance to push this to 7-1 as Beasts of the East. Their defense has certainly not shown up so far, and their offense hasn't either. Early lead for SimWorld Atlantis. They try to pull the road upset here in this one.
And it was interesting to me, JoJo Kearney's on the bench. I liked when they had him starting it before. He is a defensive madman. You have him and Levin Cutler down low. That's just kind of like upholster your defense. They've got Isaiah James at the 4, who is a really great defender, but more known as a perimeter defender than an interior defender or a rebounder. So it's an interesting choice, and I'm not sure it's shaken out for him so great yet, but, you know, got to have some trust, I guess.
In that Gotham 5 game where they did start Kearney and they had him next to Levin Cutler as the 3 from Redmond will fall, it was a team that played exceptionally well with those 2 big men out there, but as the steal here from Cutler, looked like that pass was right to him. As you mentioned, a little bit of a change in starting 5 here tonight.
And it's interesting to me, too, because, you know, you look at Atlantis' starting lineup, Theophilus Hilton is a 6'5" 4 that they start. And I would think, if it's me, I might want to start JoJo Kearney and have that gives them a size advantage. And maybe they're trying to match the pace by putting Isaiah James in there, a little smaller, a little quicker on Theophilus Hilton. But I think JoJo Kearney can guard him just fine. And with that, you would give yourself a size advantage. So I'm kind of interested to see how they're going to play the rotations for the rest of the game.
The second foul called there on Keontae Smith. We'll see if Coach Marcus Wood makes any type of change. We don't appear to have anybody checking in, and that's surprising. Going to roll the dice here with Smith, the lone player. I beg your pardon, he does in fact check out with 2 fouls. I was going to say, that's a dangerous decision to keep Smith on the floor. Their only player larger than 6'7", Smith is, and Levin Cutler has been active early on, the 6'9" forward out of Delaware.
Yeah, I mean, him getting in foul trouble, that could be something Beast of the East could play to. Not could be, it's something they should play to when he comes back out there, just kind of go at him. Because him getting out of the game is big for them. That's a huge size advantage, which isn't something that Beast of the East usually have over anybody. So, yeah, if I'm them, I'm playing for that advantage.
Hilton with another bucket, and SimWorld Atlantis using quite a bit of ball movement, passing to get open looks here as they are up by 6 as we approach the midway point of this first quarter. Plenty of basketball still to be played here in Virginia, the shooting gallery, and that is going to be for Redmond. The first non-free throw points for Beasts of the East here in this one comes with about 4:35 to play in the first quarter, and a dunk attempt turned aside by Busk, his second block of the game. And Busk Siege, a very, I don't want to say underrated, because I think he's appropriately rated, but what I think the one thing that jumps off the page, 1.3 blocks per game. That's second on the team. That's more than Levin Cutler, and he's already got 2 today.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Eric Busk he's a hard worker. That's what he does. He does it well. That's why he's the team captain. He's small, but he's feisty on those defensive plays.
Isaiah James, unsurprisingly, with the steal, leads the team with 0.8, but a turnover by Beast of the East in transition sends the ball right back to Atlantis.
If you're Atlantis, they've kind of become a little stagnant on offense. They came out really hot. I think they need to find a way to get that back going, keep it going, because this Beast of the East team could come back in bunches if they let them.
Another turnover, sloppy basketball here in the first half of the first quarter as Free Redmond checks out. That'll send the ball back, though, in the opposite direction. into the game. Cuddy hugs and kisses. JoJo Kearney checking in for Beasts of the East. So it appears in this one, Coach Drayton going for the we are always going to have a big man on the court approach as Cuddy hugs and kisses quickly gets one to go.
Good take.
Dylan unable to get that one. And Siege, we're at one of the more unique arenas here in SimWorld Hoops at the Shooting Gallery, which doubles as an art museum. What are your thoughts on playing basketball surrounded by, I would have to imagine, priceless pieces of art?
Yeah, it's really interesting to me. I mean, I love the idea of it. It's funny to me because the arena and the team don't necessarily match up in their vibes. You know, we talk about teams that kind of take on the identity of their home arena, or arenas that take on the identity of their teams, such as the Heartland Zombie Stars and the Riot House. This is kind of the complete opposite. You got the Beast of the East, who play a very gritty defensive game, and you know they can run, things like that. And then you've got this beautiful arena. It's just, like you said, filled with priceless art. Just a wonderful place to be, but it's definitely an interesting vibe for them.
Three-pointer finally falls, and that'll be our first time out of the game by Atlantis. We'll step aside. 2:38 left in the first quarter. Beasts of the East have rallied back. 3-point edge in the first quarter. More to come. SimWorld TV. Welcome back to the Shooting Gallery. SimWorld Atlantis trails Beasts of the East by 3 points. You're tuned in here to SimWorld TV. Invite you to not forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notifications on button, the classic influencer spiel for the YouTube channel here for SimWorld TV. Every single game of SimWorld Hoops action as we approach the race to one up to and including the championship game will be streamed exclusively on SimWorld TV, so ensure you are following along, got that locked into the calendar. We've got about a month and a half left of the season, including the Race to One, including the Saturday Prep Showcase. We've got a lot of good basketball ahead and a lot of drama still to unfold.
Oh, Mark, am I excited to see what other drama unfolds. We've seen quite a bit of it in recent week. We've got
recent
a lot
hours. Recent hours. The breaking news earlier today that apparently there's some unrest with the coaching decisions of one Showtime Basketball after another loss in which the game offensively was dominated by Bronny James, yet nobody else really got going. So interesting to see what will come of that one now and into the future at Showtime.
I mean, you got to start to wonder. I mean, they had coaching issues early on, got a new coach who was going well at first. You got to start to wonder, is there a coach that's going to be a good fit for the roster and the team they have put together right now? Or is it just kind of, I mean, that's a hard team to coach, really. There's a lot going on there. There's a superstar that really can take over the game.
Hold on, I'm sorry. Blaine Kidd looking like Steph Curry with that three.
Beautiful.
My goodness. I am sorry, Siege, to cut you off, but I cannot believe this. I'll turn the floor back over to you. I mean, I'm just stunned by Blaine Kidd with this.
I mean, Blaine Kidd's a guy you'd like to coach, but I mean, you got to start asking the question: is that Showtime team a coachable team with the roster they have put together?
Yeah, Lorbe called for the foul, and I think there's a lot of coaches that, and we get some substitutions coming in. Delorbe out. There are plenty of coaches that tend to rely heavily on their star, and Bronny James is about as big of a star as they come, second only to maybe DJ Wagner, maybe Tyson Simpson, take your pick. Place Darius Heller in that conversation, of course, but it's very easy to just default to that, and they have, whether that's Coach Smith before Coach Joyner, they have defaulted to just having that be. It's Blaine Kidd, another highlight.
Beautiful, and he knows what's at stake in this game, and I think we're going to see him take it over.
Blaine Kidd, indeed, he's got, I think, 6 so far, none of them of the normal variety. The up and under, the spin layup there, the acrobatic step back foot on the line 2, and can't answer, and suddenly a quick 6-0 run, Atlantis up by 3. Opportunity here to hold for the last shot, 13 seconds in the first quarter. Blaine Kidd up top. Little hold here, gets a screen. Pull up, 3. Can't get it to go off the side of the rim. That'll head out of bounds, so 2.2 seconds. Likely to be a half-court heave here from Beast of the East. Levin Cutler will check back in.
Substitutions on the floor.
Maybe a quick lob down the floor to the very tall Levin Cutler, see if he can grab it. Nope.
Well, halfway down and around the rim, and that'll end the first quarter. Atlantis on top, on the road against the 5th-seeded team in the Legacy Conference. Second quarter of SimWorld Hoops action in Virginia coming up next.
To make it 2-possession game, and they will.
Definitely gonna have to look elsewhere.
Oh!
Welcome back to the shooting gallery. Beast of the East they're trailing by 3. SimWorld Atlantis, despite shooting 1 of 8 from deep, this is still a game well within reach after the first quarter siege for Beast of the East.
Yeah, and I mean we saw Blaine Kidd and Theophilus Hilton kind of take over. They have 13 of their team's 15, but like you said, Beast of the East shooting horrendously, which really is not usual for them. If they can just kind of get to their normal shooting percentage for the rest of the game, this is going to be a tough one for Atlantis.
And, we've talked about it before. It's always, what's the outlier after the first is Blaine Kidd. Step back. 3! Gets it to go!
Blaine Kidd.
Blaine Kidd continues the high wire act with a dangerous step back 3. Pushes the lead to 6 points here. Levin Cutler can't get it to go. But to finish the point, what do you look for after the first quarter? What are the outliers, right, Siege? And the outlier of that game, that quarter, Blaine Kidd wants another. Can't get it, but the follow-up! Yes, sir, for Reed Medman. What am I talking about? Nova flying in from the outside, coming off the bench for 2.
Rigoberto!
But Siege, because we keep getting interrupted by highlights, the outlier of the first quarter there was really poor Beast of the East offensive performance. Do you expect that to change?
I do expect that to change. They're at home. They should be feeling comfortable. The only reason I would expect it not to is if Blaine Kidd keeps doing what he's doing, which is completely possible. Because he's going to keep them on their heels. If he can keep scoring and keep this deficit up for Beast of the East, that's going to make them play a little more panicked, a little more rushed, and that's not always their game. They shoot a high percentage. So they're going to need to calm things down, play better defense on Blaine Kidd, and just kind of get back to their game. Stop playing Atlantis' game.
This one's tipped away. That's good defense there from Sylvester Richards in transition. Can't really find anything. He's now turned away on the other end. Levin Cutler making his presence felt. To the rack goes Cuddy Hugs and Kisses. Can't get that to go.
A little flashy there for my liking once he got in the paint, but maybe just go straight up with that one.
That's Kid. Crossover. Can't get it to go. Cutler, I beg your pardon. That's Kearney on the board. We're seeing a little bit of Kearney-Cutler front court action. Cuddy Hugs and Kisses, though. Up and under won't go.
It's an unreal front court, really. You got defense with JoJo. You got defense and offense with Levin Cutler. I mean, that's a great front court. I'd like to see them on the floor more often in this game.
See, our viewers can see this at the bottom of the screen is Rigoberto Nova unable to get it to go, but one of the new implementations of this training staff for BCDs to keep their players warm is the treadmill that we're seeing for Reed Redmond walking on.
Okay, yeah.
Right,
I mean,
right next to the team bench there. Typically, you'll get the teams with the bike, but no, they want the treadmill. That's a timeout for Atlantis. We're going to step aside. 4:55 to play in the second quarter. Atlantis up 4 on the road in a must-win game here, Legacy Conference rivals. we're back. SimWorld Atlantis ball holding on to a 4-point advantage over Beasts of the East. On the road in a must-win game for the 12 and 13 Atlantis squad as they try to muscle their way back into the playoff picture. That jumper won't fall. But Blaine Kidd carrying the offense along with Theophilus Hilton. Two dynamic players, unsurprisingly, carrying this team and the offensive fulcrums for much of the season. And the bucket there, though, from Kasim Porter Jr.
He's tough. We didn't see much of him up until this point. I really like his game. I think he's going to be explosive for this team going forward. He's a great six-man, great spark. He's also a great assist man, got great vision. I'm real high on KPJ's game.
Well, certainly the pathway to playing time should open up a little bit. You've got Fareed Redmond and Kamarian Goodyear in front of him now. Eric, we're told it's pronunciation of Busquet, as Levin Cutler gets that tough bucket to go. All three of those guys, 17 years old, they'll be on the way out of the SimWorld Hoops League and opening up some playing time for Kasim Porter Jr. Because I think you're spot on. He's a four. Oh my goodness! Massive block inside, turned aside there. That'll stay Atlantis. JoJo Kearney on the block. But you mentioned KPJ. He'll stick around, of course, have a much larger opportunity, but is second on the team with assists, 2.9. 8.2 points per game off the bench, shooting 44% from deep, 45 from the floor. Certainly has a lot of improvement opportunities, but playing well as Hilton hits midi.
Yeah, and he's just one of those guys that I think as he gets more chances, more playing time, more chance to kind of have the ball in his hand and be that main facilitator on offense, I think we're just going to see him put all of those numbers up and up.
Bucket there. Beasts of the East staking around in this one, unsurprisingly. They've rebounded well as a pull-up Jay. Hilton continuing to hit some big shots here. Hilton and Kidd carrying the load for Atlantis.
They're on a mission tonight. They know what's at stake, and they are not going to let it go down easy.
Dumped inside here for Fareed Redmond. After staying warm on that little walking treadmill, though, can't make the bucket. Theophilus Hilton wants another. Almost had it off the back rim. Board heads the opposite direction for Porter Jr. And Porter Jr. up and under, working his way easily past Mickey Hartman. Theophilus Hilton, 17 years old, out of Jamaica. Siege, any opinion there on his potential college recruiting, what that might look like? Any hot takes that you want to offer up? He's apparently getting interest, Arizona State, North Carolina, Arkansas, so some power conference teams looking at the Jamaican.
I mean, I think he'll get offers. I think he deserves offers. He's a very talented player. And I think even in college, his 6'5" frame, he is a tough guy. He could potentially play a stretch four. I think if he wants his career to progress past the college level, he's going to need to kind of slide over to that three. A 6'5" is just small for a four. We've seen guys do it before. A guy like PJ Tucker, not much bigger than that, if that. And we've seen it happen, but it takes a lot. And he's a really skilled player as we see him pull up for three and hit it. And so I would just love to see him kind of maybe tailor his skills a little bit more to the three than the four. I think that's going to help him progress. But he's absolutely deserving of the college offers he's getting. He's very talented.
Hilton certainly doesn't play like a four, and a lot of in high school guys that will eventually end up as twos and threes at the next level. Is Fareed Redmond up under, can't get it to go. Rebound to Hilton, heads the opposite direction. He kicks it, corner three, gets it to go. Big bucket there, and that's Nathaniel Zilberman. That's a bucket, 8-point lead, Atlantis' largest lead of the game, but Levin Cutler quickly on the other end, foul called. He'll head to the line. But Hilton, guys of his stature, might play the four in high school when you've got fewer big bodies to contend with. Likely, I think, regardless of if he wants to or not, you expect him to transfer his way over to being a 2-3. He's got a bit of a, well, that's exactly it. 6'5", you expect him to just be a wing at the next level.
I mean, absolutely. It's tough because we have seen guys at 6'5" kind of play that stretch four in a small ball lineup. It's not impossible. It's just you have to find the exact right scheme in a team who wants to run that rotation, that scheme just right for it to be successful with a guy of that size. You know, there's also the discussion that he's 18 years old, he might not be done growing. So, yes, I do think for the betterment of his career, sliding over to the 3 is ideal.
Samuel Atlantis, 1 of 2 for Levin Cutler on the other end. Driving to the rack, and a tough bucket there from Del Orbe. Reynaldo Del Orbe coming off the bench, giving him 2 points. Dominican Republic native. Samuel Atlantis boasting just 2 players from the continental United States. That's Aaron Hunt and Blaine Kidd. As a foul called there, I believe that one's going to go against Pearsons. And that will send Kasim Porter to the line. Kasim Porter built at 6'3", 178. That kid does not have much percentage of body fat on him.
Nope, not at all. And he doesn't really play a game with guys, you know, but he's got good body control inside when he drives to the bucket. So, you know, you can be a little smaller in stature and still able to kind of compete in there if you can hang in the air.
I mean, Kasim Porter looks like he's about to stack up and play strong safety and not necessarily play basketball. What his mother was feeding him at in the womb and subsequent years after that, but paying dividends now. 34-27, Atlantis on top by 7. Late second quarter, 33 seconds to play. Chance for 2 for 1. See if they take advantage of it. Hartman, though, gets the ball tipped away by Porter Jr. Head is the opposite direction for Beasts of the East. Up to Porter Jr. He's looking to go quick into the paint, guarded by Del Orbe. Decides otherwise, kick it back. Tim Ricks to the rack. His first bucket of the game coming off the bench. Ricks averages just 0.3 points per game, gets the bucket to go.
Already beat his scoring average. You'll love to see it. Good for him.
Del Orbe, it's going to be Hilton pulling up quickly there. Plenty of time left to shoot, but he gets it to go. That'll force a late heave here from Porter Jr. as time expires. Can't get it to go off the front rim. That'll be our halftime score. SimWorld Atlantis 36. Beasts of the East 29. Siege. An entertaining first half and one that I don't think we expected to go this way. A defensive matchup tends to favor Beasts of the East and their league-leading defense. In this one, it's SimWorld Atlantis on top.
Well, we talked about it after the first. Beasts of the East is not really hitting their shots at the kind of clip that we're used to them hitting them. And really, I think overall what we're seeing is Theophilus Hilton and Blaine Kidd have come out, understood what's at stake, and they're playing like 2 very talented players, which is what they are. They've taken over this game. I think what Beasts of the East need to do is, we know that they have good defenders and great team defense. They need to key in on those guys. If someone else beats you at this point, it's going to have to be what it is, but you can't keep letting these guys just run wild on your team like that.
Second half coming up next. Atlantis, Beasts of the East, must-win basketball.
Waiting for a big smile out of you. You're up 2-0. What's the story? Are you not happy, or you're only half happy, or
Still to be happy about.
you're up 2-0?
Job's not finished. Job finished? I don't think so.
Welcome back to Virginia SimWorld. Atlantis on top by 7 of Beast of the East, and that's to 18 points thanks to Theophilus Hilton. He has been dominant and efficient siege, 8 of 12 shooting for Atlantis, carrying the offensive load while Blaine Kidd has added 9 of his own. But it's been the Hilton show as he tries to single-handedly get SimWorld Atlantis back into the Race to 1 playoff picture.
Ooh.
So no opinion there on Hilton siege, but you got an opinion on a dunk, huh?
Look, Hilton's doing his thing. It's what I told you before half. I think him and Blaine Kidd know what's at stake here. To be honest, I think we know that Hilton's got this in him. Is he having a massive game against the best defense or one of the best defenses in the league? Statistically, the best defense in the league, yeah. But I'm just excited to see if that's going to lead to a win. You can drop 40 for all I care. If you don't get the win, it's not going to matter so much in this game. So I'm intrigued to see if they're going to be able to keep this lead in this half.
Hilton dumps that one off to Nathan Zilberman. Beautiful pass, unable to finish it, but turnover on the other end, heads the opposite direction to Zilberman. Here's Smith. I'll bring to Mickey Hartman. We haven't heard much from Hartman. He can't get that to go. Rebound to Porter Jr.
That's a miss, man. Ooh.
Beautiful dime there from Levin Cutler, finding the cutting Kasim Porter.
He's got
back down to
great court vision for the big man. Oh, he's not done. He's not done.
Hilton getting things rolling in the second half there. His first bucket, he's up to 20 in the game now.
Can somebody stop him? Can we put someone on him who's gonna stop him? Do we need to double team him? Let's go.
Oh! Goodness gracious, the snatch block, Keontae Smith.
Ooh.
And following that up with a phenomenal screen there as one of the more dynamic defenders, Keontae Smith, 4th in the league, 2.8 blocks per game behind only the heavyweights of Victorious Ilgauskas, Derek Long, and Tyson Simpson. And a tough bucket there from Levin Cutler to go. Here's Mickey Hartman up top. Trying to free up Blaine Kidd, they do. Doesn't have much for Reed Redmond on the defense. And that one is taken away, but it's out of bounds. That's going to stay Atlanta's ball. No possession, though, so just 9 seconds left to shoot on the shot clock. As we're seeing some defensive rotations from Beast of the East to put Isaiah James now on Blaine Kidd. Although James subs out, that's going to be a mix-up, or a change-up, rather. Rebound here, Kearney heads the opposite direction. Goodyear finds his way to Kasim Porter Jr. Back inside to Kearney, playing a little two-man game. Pull up.
Interesting.
Range won't fall. Hilton driving and getting to go. A tough bucket over top of Kasim Porter Jr. Up to 22 points from Theophilus Hilton. Keep an eye on him as he tries to make his way up the most points in the game, trying to surpass the 37 that 4 players have hit.
That's a pretty pull up there from Fareed.
Redmond gets it to go. Back to within 5, midway through the third quarter approaching. Blaine Kidd, isolation against Cuddy Hugs and Kisses.
Hugs and kisses.
If you're gonna say, pull up, jumper, Sylvester Richards. Hello, Sly. If you're gonna have your last name be the letters X and O, sorry, it's just Reed Redmond on the pull-up. Of course, Cuddy changed his last name when his parents gave him the permission when he was just a teenager. And that is why you don't let teenagers do life-altering things.
Nope.
Under 18.
Probably not a good idea.
Probably not, to get ridiculed by some white guy.
Such is life.
All unable to get possessed there by Kasim Porter Jr. That's going to be a breakout in transition. Dish, dime, Blaine Kidd, 2 goes. 6-7-point game back for Atlantis. Here's Redmond. That'll be a timeout.
Called by Atlantis.
Beasts of the East, Atlantis, 7-point game, third quarter. We'll step aside, 3:13 to play, back after this. We're back, third quarter in action. Beasts of the East struggling, down 7. They are shooting just 1 of 11 from deep. 1 of 8. Those first 8 shots came in the first quarter siege. This is a team that came in number 4 in the league, 43% from deep, shooting just 11% from beyond the arc here.
Yeah, I mean, and they were 1 for 8 after the first quarter. Have only shot once since then and have not made it. This is not what we expect from Beasts of the East. To be honest, it's going to be easy to write this game off afterwards, as Beasts of the East had a bad game. Theophilus Hilton had a sensational game, incredibly efficient. Everything went right for Atlantis. Everything went wrong for Beasts of the East, but it's only a 7-point game, and there's plenty of time left in this game. So as bad as it's been for Beasts of the East, they've got a chance.
Reynaldo Del Orbe with the emphatic block there off the timeout. Turning that one aside, that would have been Eric Bousquet trying to get the layup to go, won't get it. 3:05 left in the third, 11 seconds on the shot clock. I think the surprising part of their three-point shooting has been that they've seemingly just outright ignored it, as Cuddy XO can't get it to go.
I'm wondering, Beasts of the East, they got to find something going on offense. I mean, main focus for them has got to be stopping Hilton. Then we've got to see them maybe get out in transition, run, get some easy layups. If what they need to do is, I mean, that'll do. That'll do. More of that. More out in transition, guys filling their lane, cutting to the basket. If they get in a half-court situation and Levin Cutler's on the court, you're going to want to feed it to him. But they got to kind of play their game on fast breaks, run, and when they get in the half court, be patient and take good shots because that's what they're known for.
Isaiah James with the, I think he got a piece of that block there on Blaine Kidd, and then good defense there, or rather contesting for the rebound. Isaiah James keeps the ball here, Beast of the East, and I gotta say, Isaiah James listed at 6'4", he looks bigger than that.
Well, he's definitely a bulky dude. Is he an inch or so bigger than that? Potentially, but I think it's also just the size and the aggressiveness he plays with definitely makes him look bigger on the court.
Listed at 6'4", 197, certainly a large 16-year-old.
Big human for sure.
Nathan Zilberman, though, coming up with a big human play, takes that one away. Midi pull-up, can't finish the highlight. Zilberman snatches that one away from right. Can't finish on the other end, however, to end that opportunity. Isaiah James picking up his own trash here.
There it is. That's some tough play, and they've cut it to a 3-point deficit.
And they're sicking Isaiah James on Blake Kidd at three-quarters court, playing the Gary Payton-style role here.
Well, they call him Doc Out for a reason. Say he's got 8 arms on defense. Let's see if he can do something. I'd like him to use at least 4 or 5 of those arms on Hilton once he gets back on the floor.
Now Hilton is on the bench, and that lead for Atlantis has dwindled down to 3 as we see Mickey Hartman preparing to check in. But a transition off the miss, easy too. Zahid Pearson's the nice feed, or receiver of the nice feed, inside from Zilberman. Lead back up to 5, just over a minute to play here in the third quarter. Beast of the East gonna need a good 9 minutes to close this thing out as Cootie gets it to go and the foul. He'll head to the line, chance to pull within 2 for Beast of the East.
And he's had himself quite a night. He's not always the guy you expect to kind of be a big-time scorer for them, but he's showed up knowing that they're having a tough night, and if he can maybe turn it on even a little bit more, some of his teammates could help him. They are well within reach of this game.
A quiet night from Fareed Redmond. We haven't heard much of anything from Camarion Goodyear, who enters the game as their 3rd leading scorer for Beast of the East. Kasim Porter Jr. and Cody Hudson Kisses has found their way into the spotlight. Not as if they don't typically. 8 points per game just about for both of them. Blaine Kidd goes. Follow up. Zahid Pearson, 4 big points here late in the quarter for Atlantis.
And this is the part of the game where Atlantis really needs to take what they've been doing all game, what's been working for them, whether it be on defense, offense, and keep it going. If they let Beast of the East hang around like this, the end of the game is going to be a stressor for them. They need to go ahead, step on the gas. They know that Beast of the East is playing a little bit disjointed tonight. They're not playing their normal game. They need to take advantage of it, and starting the fourth quarter, the end of this quarter and the start of the fourth needs to be where they make their statement and kind of pull away in this one.
Sylvester Richards rumbling, tumbling his way into the paint. Excuse me, I beg your pardon. Reynaldo Del Orbe rumbling and tumbling into the paint for 2. 6'7", 231-pound meatball out of the Dominican Republic. Here's Bousquet. Dumps inside to Cutler. 3 seconds to shoot. Got to get it off. Does. Won't get it to fall. That's going to end the quarter. Atlantis on top, 52-46. 8 minutes from a massive and much-needed upset on the road at Beast of the East. Fourth quarter action coming up next. Welcome back, fourth quarter action on deck. First game of the SimWorld TV doubleheader. Stay tuned. Beyond the Arch bringing their 6-game winning streak to the table as they face the Yacht Club in a massive game for both sides. Yacht Club needing a win to stay ahead of Asia Pacific for 7. Of course, the winning streak there for Beyond the Arch at stake, and really a lot on the line here in that next game based off how this one finishes. Siege, a loss from Visa the East and coupled with a win for Beyond the Arch, and suddenly that's a half-game difference between 5 and 6. Visa the East would be transitioning from a team on the verge of contention for a top 2 seed, to battling just for a top 4 seed in the race to 1.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure that Beyond the Arch team is watching this game, or at least following it while they're getting warmed up for our next one. I mean, that's big. You know, sometimes you don't want to think there's too much of a difference in terms of seeding between a 6 seed and a 5 seed. But at the end of the day, matchups matter when it comes to the playoffs. Getting that momentum in the first round, if you feel like you're playing a team that you've got a better matchup against, that's going to give you momentum going forward, confidence, all those things. And so seeding is a lot bigger, I think, than some people give it credit for, especially when you get down to those middle seeds. It starts to feel like it matters a little less, but it does not.
Hickey Hartman misses that one. Of course, a fall down to 6 for BC East would set them up with a matchup against Gotham 5 as it stands currently, or potentially Rocky Mountain, who sits at number 2 right now. Rocky had a huge, relatively, I wouldn't say dominant, but controlling win of the second half against Showtime last night. Justin Bell had a big night for 20 points in that win.
Yeah, and that's one we're going to hear about because it was one of those things where it really put on display 2 things. One, Justin Bell continuing his evolution into a full, surefire number 1 for that team. And 2, Ronnie James, sensational game. Looked like an animal out there, and they couldn't get it done. And that's something that's been kind of a side topic as we went through the year, because they've been able to be successful anyways with the play of Ronnie and with the play of those guys around him regardless. But as we get closer, you got to start to kind of wonder... if that's going to be an issue come playoff time.
Leoni's read the dunk, then on the inbound, it's picked off, and up and in is IJ James. We're tied up here with 6:03 to play in the fourth quarter.
And BC the East, we're not going to go quietly. This is what I was saying in that last quarter. This needs to be statement time for Atlantis. This can't be the time that BC the East makes a run and puts Atlantis on the back burner, because I don't know if they've got what it takes to come back after being up all game.
A beautiful pass from Blaine Kidd finds its way to Keontae Smith. And of note, still no Theophilus Hilton. 22 points midway through the third. We have not seen him back. It appears he's checking in. He has a little trip on the treadmill as well here next to the
Just getting warmed up on the treadmill.
bench. Cutler can't get that one to go late in the shot clock. That's Mickey Hartman. So still the lead for Atlantis. 5:05 to play. Win and get back to 500 for Atlantis, and send BC East into a nail-biting close to the season. A loss, and you start having to tough your way up. And tough your way up is Darian Hunt for 2 points. Pushes the lead back to 4. Every bucket matters here, Siege. No Hilton on the floor for Atlantis.
Absolutely. I mean, once he gets back to the floor, who knows, he might go back off. So BCD's got to continue to take advantage of this.
Good defense there from Smith. He has had a fantastic game guarding Levin Cutler. And then up and under Reynaldo Del Orbe. He gets one to go. And the lead, just in a snap of the fingers, a 6-0 run. Atlantis back up on top.
They got to just keep reminding themselves what's at stake here. They need this win. They need this win.
Not only is Hilton getting warm, he's trying to mess with the crowd, it seems, over on the sideline. Levin Cutler again can't get it to go, as a great night from Keontae Smith continues to be on display. And then the block. No, they're going to call this one a foul on Smith. Believe that might be, it's definitely at least his 3rd, maybe his 4th. But Smith has had an incredible game tonight, Siege, going to task against Levin Cutler.
I mean, that is not an easy task at all, and testament to his defensive abilities because Levin Cutler is one of the most all-around skilled offensive bigs in the league. I think, he's starting to get more and more credit for it, but I still think he doesn't get quite enough credit for how talented he is on that end. Keontae Smith, though, has really locked in for this game and understood his assignment was to contain Levin Cutler, and he's doing just that for the most part.
Smith averages 8.1 blocks per game. That's just outside of the top 10. Levin Cutler also outside of 8.3, but as you mentioned earlier, fourth in the league, 2.8 blocks per game. Sorry, the rebounds is 8.1. And 0.8 steals per game. So he's the defensive anchor of this group, and they have needed every little bit of it tonight. He has risen to the occasion against Levin Cutler. Now we're going to get a foul called here on Eric Bousquet. And of course, we invite you to stay tuned here between the first and second game of our doubleheader for the post-up. Always an exciting time, so make sure you're tuning in there for live mid-game takes and takes from around the league. Here's Hilton, dumps it inside to Zilberman. Zilberman has struggled tonight, can't get the lid off the rim there as that one won't fall. And now rising up is Wright. He gets two, and we are suddenly back to a 2-point game.
And back and forth, and I'm telling you, we talked about it all game, this Beast of the East team, even though the game doesn't mean quite as much for them as it might for Atlantis. I mean, they're a tough team. They're a good defensive team. They're going to strap up when it matters, and they're finding ways to score. Atlantis needs to put this one away.
Double team comes, and it's a jump ball, and I actually think Atlantis gets lucky there. It looked like Hilton had stepped out of bounds, but jump ball opportunity for Beast of the East with 3:13 to play. And jump ball won there by Hilton. Hilton finds Zilberman, corner three, gets it to go.
What a look.
Zilberman, a much-needed basket there for Atlantis off the great feed from Hilton. Giving them just an ounce of breathing room here as we're under 3 minutes to play. Redmond up top, guarded by Kidd, has a size advantage. Swings it to Isaiah James. James wants a three, won't get it. Hard off the backboard. Kidd now with the ball, working on Isaiah James. He has been stifled in the second half. Defense from Isaiah James and Eric Bousquet have really locked him up, but it's Fareed Redmond getting the call on Hilton, and no one can jock him. Dies between the double team, rises for two. Theophilus Hilton yet again.
That might be why we didn't see him for a while. Let him get his legs back under him, get fresh. Now he's back out here just being a menace to this Beast of the East defense like he has all night.
Isaiah James trying to answer, kicks it to Bousquet. Here's Bousquet, can't get that to fall, and Beast of the East. The ball has not been going through Levin Cutler or Fareed Redmond late in this game, and it is paying off for a SimWorld Atlantis team as they built the lead back to 7. Blaine Kidd driving to the rack. He will be turned away by Cutler. Rebound and now headed up to Wright in transition. He wants the take, gets it to go.
Defense to offense, that's what they need right now. They got a minute and a half left. They need stops, consecutive stops.
Surprisingly decided not to feed the ball to Fareed Redmond in the corner. A corner three opportunity from the other end from Hartman won't fall. And now Beast of the East, chance to pull within a single possession, but not gonna be had on that attempt from Keontae Smith. My goodness. We're gonna step aside, 1:17 to play, fourth quarter underway. We're back here, fourth quarter, 1:17 to play. Remind you to join the SimWorld Discord, discord.gg/SimWorldNBA. Stay in the loop on all things SimWorld hoops. The race to one heating up, the on and off court drama, all reported on by the dedicated staff of reporters. So SimWorld Discord, make sure you're joining that, discord.gg/SimWorldNBA. 1:17 left. SimWorld Atlantis on top of Beast of the East by 5, trying to pull the upset on the road here against a talented Beast of the East team. Levin Cutler inside, can't get it to go. Offensive board's going to be wrangled by Blaine Kidd in transition the other way. He's going to drive, he's going to kick to the corner, decides against it. Hartman deep 2 off the front rim.
That didn't look like a great connect on that pass. Good find, but ball boggled a little bit, and I think it messed up the shot.
Chaotic possession, but a size advantage here for Cutler. He's trying to go to work. Dumps inside. It's no size advantage though against Keontae Smith with his verticality. Finds Redmond in the corner for 3. Yes, sir!
That's big time.
63-61, one possession game, 30 seconds to play. Atlantis needs a bucket here. Hilton has been hot. Will they find the ball with him? No, they'll go to Blaine Kidd for 3. Can't get it to go off the rim. Redmond the board. Chance and Tyre take the lead. Under 20 to play. Kicks it inside to Bousquet. Bousquet won't get it to go either. Rebound out. Foul will be Isaiah James, and a chance there from Eric Bousquet to tie this thing up. Can't get it to go with 12 seconds left. Now with 10.4. Atlantis has the chance here as Blaine Kidd will head to the line. Very tumultuous, high-octane couple of seconds there, Siege, but as the dust settles, it's a 2-point Atlantis lead at the free throw line, under 10 to play.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still shocked at that missed open 3 from Blaine Kidd, especially with all the step backs he was hitting earlier, but I mean, they played good defense, didn't let it affect them, got the stop on the other end, and now the game's in their hands.
Kidd hits the first. That puts it to 3. Beast of the East does have a timeout, so they can advance the ball after the second free throw, if they so desire. Kidd to push it to 4. Gets it to go. And that'll be a timeout from Beasts of the East as they are down 4. Unsurprisingly, Blaine Kidd, who's a 96% free throw shooter, buries both of them in Siege. Is this one out of reach now as we look at a 4-point deficit, 9.7 seconds left, and for Beasts of the East, no timeouts left?
I mean, we've seen crazier things than 4 points in about 10 seconds. It's gonna take hitting a quick 3, or it's gonna take a quick 2, getting a foul, and hoping that Atlantis misses one of their free throws. If I'm Beasts of the East, this game's kind of been in Atlantis' hands all game, and they were lucky to be able to make this comeback. But I think what you got to do here is you got to go for the 3, put the game in your own hands. That way, even if they make both the shots, you still have a chance. They've got to take this game, and they have to make it theirs. They can't keep counting on Atlantis to mess up.
9.7 seconds left, no timeouts for Beasts of the East. Whatever shot they do decide to take will have to be a quick one. Big opportunity here. A win from SimWorld Atlantis, though, pulls them back even with Cascadia if they can hold on. A loss from Beasts of the East draws them a game ahead of Beyond the Arch, who is in action next here on SimWorld TV. So make sure you're staying tuned for the Yacht Club visiting Tyson Simpson and Beyond the Arch. A fun big man matchup there, Adam Max versus Tyson Simpson. But an exciting conclusion on deck here. No one is looking like they're going to hit the magic number 69, but Atlantis looking like they're going to try to avoid needing to do that to get the win.
Yeah, I mean, all they got to do here is get one stop, and there's not going to be enough time. So just one stop, don't foul a shooter. For God's sakes, just don't foul a shooter.
Get the ball to Redmond. Redmond fires up, gets it to go. That's a 3-pointer. He hits it in. Foot behind the line. It's a 1-point ball game. Timeout, Atlantis.
And that's what we're talking about. They need to take the game into their hands, and with that, Atlantis needs to make both these free throws, or else they're going to be looking at a potential game-winning buzzer beater. If they make both, you can still have a 3 to tie it, go to overtime. But I mean, this is a lot of pressure on Atlantis. You got to feel it right now. Beast of the East has kind of stayed on their neck all game, even with the incredible performance from Theophilus Hilton. I don't think played enough minutes, if I'm being honest with you, Marsh, but we are certainly geared up for quite a finish in this one.
Well, not only has Hilton kind of been sitting for maybe more than you would expect him to, but Fareed Redmond has not been involved. Just his 8th shot of the game there, as it's been a very heavy Putty XO and Levin Cutler offensive shot portfolio. But Fareed Redmond gets that one off just 1.9 seconds off the game clock. They'll look to try to either get the steal here on the inbounds or the quick foul. Atlantis does have a timeout left, so if they run up against that 5-second shot or 5-second inbound time limit, they do have a timeout to use should they need it. None left for Beast of the East, so they'll have to go quick in whatever manner they have left. 7.8 seconds to play here in Virginia. Beasts of the East down 1, needing a stop, needing a win. Atlantis needing a win even more to get back to 500 and back into the battle and the tie for the 8th seed in the conference in the race to 1.
Here we go, Marsh. This is what we're waiting for.
Inbound to Kidd. Looks close. Almost stepped on the line there. Doesn't. And that's going to be a foul called Isaiah James. 1.7. So almost as much time to get the foul there, Siege, as it took Fareed Redmond to hit the bucket. But 6.1 to play. Beasts of the East. 1 point deficit. Could be pushed to 3 here by Blaine Kidd.
Big free throws. Team leader. Got to make these free throws.
Missed only a handful all season. 96.7 entering tonight. Gets the first to go. Nothing but net.
One more, and even if he makes this one, Beast of the East, they've still got a shot. Fareed Redmond was quiet all game and hit 2 big threes down the stretch. There's no telling that he can't do it again.
And the questions will be about that inbound. Was that a backcourt violation by Blaine Kidd or not? They said no, it's going to be Beasts of the East. They've got 4 seconds to shoot. Busquet dribbling it up. Kicks it. Redmond, deep 3 to tie. Yes, sir! Yes, sir! Are you kidding me?
Fareed Redmond!
Fareed Redmond forces overtime! Unbelievable! Fareed Redmond, a pair of late 3-pointers with under 10 seconds to play, and we've got extra basketball in Virginia. We've got overtime hoops at the shooting gallery, and the opportunity to be the first team to 69 is still on the table. Fareed Redmond, a pair of late threes, gets him to 17 points in just 17 minutes of action in Siege. Some big scoring nights from Fareed Redmond and Theophilus Hilton, yet neither of them has played all that much as Redmond misses the deep 2 there. You have to think both sides of the house are probably wishing that their guys got a little bit more involved earlier in this game, and we might not be playing 4 extra minutes of hoops.
I mean, in regulation, freed Redmond only 17 minutes, 17 points in those 17 minutes on only 10 shots. You've got a guy who's ranked in the top 15 in the league. He's only getting 10 shots in regulation. I mean, I couldn't agree with you more. We see either of those stars in Hilton or Fareed get a little bit more playing time, a little bit more shots. I don't think we're here in overtime right now.
Leonidas Wright gets the 2 to go, hits 69 first, so the ultimate test of the first to 69 wins. Beasts of the East reach at first, and now a steal. Chance to extend their lead here in overtime.
Well, I mean, I wasn't going to say it, but it is a closed book now. We can go ahead and say the Beast of the East has got this one under wraps.
Stay tuned to figure out how it ends, but according to the prophesizing siege, it is all but over. And Leonidas Wright gets another. He has been slamming home buckets tonight, firing home some emphatic dunks for Beast of the East, who now lead by 4 with 2:30 to play. Here's Hilton, guarded by Redmond. He wants up, can't get it to go. Redmond's good defense.
No need to give me credit for that one. It was a wise man that told me that, not myself.
Well, Leonidas Wright now, he's showing some wise man game. 6 points, all 6 Beasts of the East points in overtime here, coming at the hand of Leonidas Wright. And if you want to talk about what-if games, and a block there from Bousquet, but a putback from Keontae Smith. A what-if night could be on our hands here for Atlantis. Had the opportunity to pull even with Cascadia for the 8th seed. Instead, a minute 2, no, it's Fareed Redmond burying it, pushing the lead to 7. They look like they're going to go to 12 and 14.
Like we said, we know how it works. You hit 69 first, you've got the game in the bag. Oh, but Blaine Kidd got something to say. Blaine Kidd got something to say.
Offense coming out. I said it when it was 64-6 or 65-61. I said the chance for the first to 69 just wasn't going to happen, as Leonidas Wright can't hit the 3 rebound for Kidd. I'm glad I jinxed us into it, because this is some exciting hoops here. Overtime basketball, must-win hoops for both sides. Beast of the East rises to the occasion here in the extra frame. Here comes Hilton. On Redmond, can't get it to go. Offensive board to Zilberman. Zilberman can't get it to go. Offensive board number 2. Zilberman can't get it to go, and that'll end it. Leonidas Wright pulls it in.
Hey, there we know that Atlantis get those offensive boards.
5th most offensive boards in SimWorld Hoops, indeed.
Leonidas Wright, how about him turning it up in overtime?
Leonidas Wright has been cooking, and he's going to cook right past Smith. 2 more. Timeout for Atlantis. Leonidas Wright, 8 points in overtime. And Beasts of the East building their largest lead of the second half, 6-point advantage with 45.5 seconds left. We're going to step aside. Conclusion of this one on deck.
It's my time in line, and not a nigga shining bright. Fuck a 9 to 5, I just recline on the mind. If you rewind, you'll find there's no denying I'm tight. Just give me the line. Like Sean Paul, and I'll be straight. You see me leaning so hard, it's like I need a V8. I needed a break from toting the hammer. Last week I did a show in the front row of the Copacabana. My lyrics will give a nigga hope in the slammer. Since I'm all about my dough, you ain't gon' blow out my candle. Hope you can handle R-E-double. When I fall off in the club, nothing but love. VIP, no cover, none other. Burn rubber on dubs, sitting in the Lex Bubba, drinking my cup, mix my Belvedere with Everclear, cause I'm still a thug. This is the remix, nigga, so bang this here in your truck.
Riding sideways, candy dripping wet, remixed it. Now we in our private jet, with the candy wet, and we gon' sit it sideways. Third coast, baby, it was born a parlay. Riding sideways.
We are back. Overtime has been dominated by Leonidas Wright. Beasts of the East, 6-point lead, 8 points from Leonidas Wright here in the extra frame of Hoop Siege. Reminder that stay tuned, we'll get the post up immediately after this game. Following that will be Beyond the Arch and the Yacht Club. Big matchup, Beyond the Arch and their 6-game winning streak on the line there. Yacht Club trying to keep their seeding, number 7th right now in the conference. They're trying to stay there. They got their big 3 working and rolling right now.
Absolutely, and I would think you would go back to Hilton or Kidd, and a quick one from Kidd.
Kid can't get that one to go, and that's going to be a foul there from Zilberman. Still not in the bonus, so Beast of the East will have to, or rather Atlantis will have to get one more foul before pushing this one in to the free throws to close it out. 41.5, plenty of time left though on either side. Inbounds. That's to Cuddy XO. He's sitting at the line. They're not going to foul.
They're putting on the pressure. I would have thought they would have fouled again. It was interesting to foul once and not a second time. But
they go to Cutler. There's the foul at the worst possible time as Cutler gets that to go. And that can just about put this thing out of reach, Siege. 80 to 72, chance to push it to 9. The largest lead for Beast of the East at any point in this game is right here. And the decision by Atlantis not to foul down by 6 turns disastrous with this one.
Well, I'm going to be real with you, Marsh. This game's been in wraps for Beast of the East for about 11 points here. Make it 12. Make it 11.
80 to 72. And a stunning breakdown from Atlantis as Zilberman finally gets a bucket. But they led by 5 points with under a minute to play. They led by 3 points with 6 seconds to play and no timeouts left for Beast of the East. And yet it was Fareed Redmond with a pair of dagger threes, or rather resurrection threes, to get Beast of the East into overtime, at which point Leonidas Wright took over, carrying this one 8 points in the extra frame. And it is a huge win for Beast of the East. They're going to stay above the fray that is the surging Beyond the Arch. They'll move to 18 and 10, and mathematically continuing to run side by side with Run DMB. They'll be half a game up for the 4 seed there. That would be the first round matchup for the Legacy Conference in the race to 1. And meanwhile, SimWorld Atlantis falling to 12 and 14. They'll now have to jump Bad Boys Basketball, who's playing currently against Queen City Kings, and Cascadia to get into the final spot. Not mathematically out, of course. 5 games left for Atlantis, Bad Boys, and Cascadia after tonight's action. So plenty of opportunity for them to get back in, but Siege, just feels like as big of a missed opportunity as you're going to get for Atlantis.
I mean, it really was. I felt like they let Beast of the East hang around all game. They were able to get out to a lead and hold the lead for most of the game, and they just let Beast of the East kind of hang around and eventually get right back into it. Fareed Redmond had a very quiet game until late in the 4th when he hit 3 big threes, including one at the buzzer to put it in overtime. I mean, Fareed Redmond's the start. We've had problems with him consistency-wise. There have been stretches of games where he's disappeared a little bit, but the big moments here, and he showed up. Atlantis is definitely going to go back home, go back in the locker room, wondering, how did we let this happen?
You left Fareed Redmond, and as we said at the start of this, you have to feel like both teams are probably saying, how do we even get to this point? Fareed Redmond played just 17 minutes of regulation. He had a team-high 17. Now, certainly 6 of that came on his last 2 shots. Meanwhile, for Atlantis, 20 minutes in the first 32 for Theophilus Hilton, led the way with 24 points entering the final frame. He's been held in check, though, as has Blaine Kidd here in this extra frame, as the defensive dynamicism of Isaiah James, Fareed Redmond, and Eric Bousquet has been on full display here in overtime, stifling a typically struggling Atlantis offense.
You know, I'm at a loss for words for what Atlantis has let Beast of the East do to them tonight. I mean, that...
Three-pointer falls for Beast of the East, or excuse me, for Atlantis, but this feels, and it truthfully is, cosmetic, as Bousquet will get fouled by Sylvester Richards. That will send Bousquet to the line. Bousquet, of course, had the opportunity, which appeared to be the chance to tie this thing up. They had down by 2 late in this game. He misses the free throw, misses the tough layup. That opened up the door what we thought to be the close of this thing for Beast of the East, but instead just preceded the dramatic close from Fareed Redmond.
Fareed Redmond,
there from Bousquet.
I mean, he's ranking-wise, he's the best player on the floor for both of these teams, and I think he came out when it mattered tonight and just did his thing. Showed that I can be that guy at any point, even with only 10 shots in regulation. I can be that guy at the end.
Bousquet gets the second one to go. That's 84-77 again. This is all just counting stats at this point. Beast of the East is going to walk out of here with a dramatic come-from-behind win thanks to Fareed Redmond's heroics to close regulation as the clock strikes 0 to set this thing into finality. For my partner in the booth, Siege, for our production team, I thank you for joining us. Reminder, stay tuned for the post-up Beyond the Arch and Yacht Club on deck afterwards. But as always, see the game, be the game.
Welcome back to another episode of the Post Up. Y'all already know who I am, and you know who that is by now. It is the, as he calls himself, not just the infamous, but the illustrious L.O.B. How you doing, man?
Look, I'm doing great. Thanks for asking, but I do feel like there's a lot to unpack and uncover here. There's a lot we gotta talk about, man.
Debate.
There's a lot we gotta talk about.
Yeah, so. Let's talk about it, man. Beasts of the East, Atlantis. It was an electrifying game, man. I don't want to, I don't like using inflammatory words like that, but it really was. It was a wild game. Fareed Redmond, 20 points in 21 minutes. Leonidas Wright, who came off the bench, played only 22 minutes, but 8 big-time buckets in overtime. Levin Cutler, a pedestrian, 13 for the Beast of East. On the other side, Atlantis, similar to Atlantis, Theophilus Hilton. Early in this one, looked like he was just going to run away with it. 24 points. Blaine Kidd poured in 18. But guess what? Atlantis did not come up with the victory, man. What you got to say about this one, LO? Let's get some insight here, man.
Well, see, here's my thing, right? So first off, I just want to say this. Fareed Redmond, as we all know, someone who's typically been quiet and consistent throughout these past couple of games. It's one thing to see him go out and have the performance that he did, especially late in this game, which props to him, kudos to him for the way that he played late on. Those 2 big threes at the end of the fourth quarter, which ended up giving them the opportunity to go on the huge run in overtime to secure the victory. So first off, props out to Fareed Redmond, who, they've called him a ghost for quite some time. He's been inconsistent, but to have a game like this tonight, in the way that he did, in the fashion and manner that he did, going out 20 points, 2 big 3-pointers, like I said, to bring them to overtime, I feel like that, and that's huge for this team. The Beast of the team, they're kind of clinging on to one of the top spots, advancing to 18-10 here as far as the race to 1 comes. So this is a big win. And it's good to see one of their top guys in Fareed Redmond, especially whenever the road to 1 is so close, to see your top guys start, performing the way that you want them to.
Hey,
as far as
race to 1, whatever it is, but
race
yeah,
to
absolutely.
1, road to 1, I'll call it 10,000 different things before the time comes. But as far as Atlantis, they just I watched this game and they completely led throughout the gist of it, and just kind of left to wonder what happened. Like where did things go wrong? Where did things break down at? Was it did they let their foot off the gas? Did they not have enough energy to finish out this game? Like what exactly happened? I mean, it's hard to pinpoint. Like you said, Theophilus Hilton, Blaine Kidd, great games tonight, but it's just one of those things where it's like, what happened? Where was everybody else at on the floor tonight? And ultimately it led to their downfall when everybody else can't pick up the slack. Not only two people can do it for this team, right? Everybody else has got to pick up the slack. When you're going on big leads like this, you got to rely on your best players to get buckets, but it's one of those things where everybody else on this team has to contribute. And down the stretch, that's just looked like it wasn't the case, and it just allowed the Beast of the East to creep back into this one.
Yes, true indeed. Fareed Redmond catching fire late in this one. It was just an excellent game, but that was not the only game we had tonight, man. We had a couple.
There's a lot.
Yeah,
there was a lot. I'm telling you, I came in prepared for this one. All right, guys, I came in prepared for this one. I'm telling you, I had them all pulled up. I was ready to go because there was a lot of games that happened today.
Word. So early this morning, man, out in Europe, as Rick Ross would say, we're out in Europe. I ain't gonna finish that line. Y'all know what it is, though. SimWorld Europe hosting Gotham 5. Europe falls in that one 59-70. I'll let you kind of run with this, but there was two other finals we just got here. I'll make sure the people tuning in now are aware of those. Rain Trays headed into ATL and picked up a victory. You could tell them how that one went down. And then Bad Boys went into Queen City, and they layeth the smacketh down on the Queen City Kings. Tell them how it went down, though, Elo.
Well, first off, starting off early morning game because, I chronologically want to start these in order with how time works in our world. But, with the way that G5 dominated that game entirely, I mean, Mackenzie Mbako, 19, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, completely was a facilitator across the floor throughout the entirety of the game. Guys like Aaron Lovejoy, Cayenne Anthony producing big points. Cayenne had 12, Lovejoy had 11, 8 rebounds for Lovejoy. Only 2 people on that Gotham 5 team did not score, so it's great, whenever I mention things like that, like it was a team effort, right? Everybody on this team stepped up in a big way. Everybody contributed. You had almost 5 guys on that Gotham 5 squad that scored at least 8 or more points in this game. That's huge contributions, right? Meaning everybody on the floor had a huge impact in this game. The difference is with G5 and SimWorld Europe, you had 4 straight people who had 7 points for Europe, and it's great to see that the team over there is contributing too, but their star players just did not shine. I mean, you had Kristen FaZe Cos, he had only 7 points in this game. He's played 24 minutes. Henrik Vexis, the top scorer for that team, only had 13 points, right? So it's like when you're expected to go out there and perform whenever you're Europe and you just don't, it's going to lead to lopsided victories like this. But as we know, G5 is a great team, so it's hard to beat them. Anyways, they're a great team. They're well coached. They know how to play with the strengths of each other's and through, and to build off the weaknesses of each other. So that was a great team win for G5. We go over to the ATLians and the reigning Trays, 76-72. That game was a great game, and I have to give a big shout out to my man, the Big Mood, with 33 tonight. Unfortunately, they couldn't come up with the victory, but he dropped 33.
I think, didn't he go like 9 for 9 from deep? Wasn't it something stupid like that?
9 for 10 from the 3-point line.
Oh my God. Yeah, he just went crazy.
He went off tonight. He went absolutely off tonight. So props to the Big Mood having a big game tonight. I mean, he stepped up in a big way. Unfortunately, they didn't get the dub, but games like this give you a lot of upside, right? You have a guy who can shoot the ball as well as he has on the floor, and you're getting into these close games. I mean, it doesn't help on the record when you're not winning, but that's the bright side. That's the upside, that you see a team go into a game especially against the reigning Trays, and you battle it out and you duke it out, and one of your best players goes off for probably one of the best games, if not the best game of his career. Everybody's contributing. It's a lot of upside whenever you look at it like that, right?
Yeah,
So
and he even got a shout out
to the ATL.
He got a shout out from 2 Chainz.
He did. I did see that. 2 Chainz did have to give a huge shout out to Mood for his impressive play tonight. But on the other end, I mean, like you've got 3 people scoring double digits. Japheth Towns with 19 tonight. Xavier Bryant with 14. Jason Crosser with 12. I mean, Nick Bill, Kevon Jackson both had 9 in their own respectively. So it's hard to beat that, and it's hard to beat that even when you go out and put up 33. It is hard to beat that. So kudos to ATLians for putting up a great effort, but unfortunately it was all for naught. But you are the ATLians, keep your head up because 2 Chainz is on your side. So keep your head up.
All right, man. What we had last, man?
We had Bad Boys basketball. You call them Bad Boys in a impressive victory over the Queen City Kings. Now, as a Bad Boys advocate, right, as a Bad Boys fan, we are all here for, what Lorenzo Phenom is going to do every single time he steps out on the floor. And he had himself a game tonight, 18 and 10, 2 blocks. I mean, he was out there on the offensive end, on the defensive end. He was a big part of this driving force. Aiden Weaver, 16 points in his own right. Malcolm Chamberlain had 10 and 9. He could have had a double himself. Everybody except for one person on this Bad Boys basketball team got buckets. I mean, we talk about Samuel Bogus. He had 9 and 6. Pagnotti had 9 and 2. It's a great thing to see teams contribute like that. But the underlying story of this game is how quickly Bad Boys basketball, if you didn't get to watch the game, you didn't get to see how quickly Bad Boys basketball got off that bus, got in that gym, got warmed up, and they completely dominated from the jump. It was a 24-11 game in the first quarter. It was a huge jump off in the beginning. And it just seems like Queen City after that couldn't recover. I mean, in the third quarter, it was lopsided. There was just such a huge. Bad Boys came to play this game. I'll say that much. It just seemed like Bad Boys came to play. But Queen City did have some highlights. Madison Miles, 22-10 tonight. Great game for him. He had the dirty stat line, 1 steal, 1 block. He did it all tonight. So big props to Madison Miles in the way that he played tonight. Sky Durant, I feel like could have played a little bit better in this one. He only had 10 and 4. And with his upside, I feel like he could have played a lot better in this game. But, I mean, when Bad Boys comes off and they come off firing, it's hard to beat a team like that. So, I honestly don't know what to say. Like, when they came off the bus, they came shots firing, weapons blazing, and they was ready to go to work. So, kudos to Bad Boys basketball doing what they did tonight.
All right. Well, yeah, that's the rundown for now. We definitely have some more games coming up. But before we go there, man, I know you want to talk a little bit about something, and I think we may be a little tight on time, but we're gonna get these in real quick. The 6th man. Talk to me about the 6th man, man. What are we talking about here?
So it's interesting, right? Because, and this is sort of a football term, which is where I feel like it originally came. But you could quote me if I'm right or wrong.
From the 11th man. I mean the 12th man.
We talk about the 12th man in football, right? The unknown teammate that sort of surrounds the stadium or surrounds the gym and gives off a sort of atmosphere, a sort of pressure for any sort of environment that you've got to come into, right? Just to make games a lot harder, right? Any team can get beaten on any night because of how well the 6th man plays in this sense, right? And so I wanted to know your thoughts on, as far as we'll do 2, as far as the NBA first off, and then as far as SimWorld, who has the best six man. And I feel like there's a lot of ways you could go with this. There's a lot of teams you could put out there. So I would just like to see the names that you throw out there. And maybe the people who are watching at home, if they have some names they want to throw out there, who's got the best six man, who's got the best environments, who's got the toughest environments. When you got to go in there, no matter how good or bad the team is, the six man is always going to pick up the slack.
Now, I'm gonna help you out because I got your back, and I think they really go with the 12th man is how they call that. I think they call it in football. They call it the 12th man.
In football, the 12th man. Yeah,
the 12th man. Six man is always forever go to me. That's Jamal Crawford.
Right. Okay.
All right. We're straight up. All right. So yeah, man. I'm not a huge fan of this team, but I'll throw a couple of them out there. This first one, I honestly I just don't like them. But going into Boston in the NBA, that's a crazy place to play, and apparently it's always been that way. You hear the stories back in the day; they wouldn't turn the water on and had the heat on, and oh my God, I'm sure Elava could tell you some stories. And sometimes he was probably in the building where they did some things to fans. Lord knows, man. But the Celtics, I wouldn't want to go play there. They have the 6th through 12th man advantage. I remember back in the day. It doesn't even have to be back in the day, but I remember them making more of a issue of it than they do now. Going into Denver in the NBA, that high altitude where the Nuggets may be used to that tempo, and that may have played a factor this season, but they're used to that high altitude and the shortness of breath. Their conditioning is a little different. That's where you see somebody like a Nikola Jokic, who looks like he's not in great shape, but guess what? His cardio may be a little better than somebody else coming up there just for 2 times a season with that altitude. So I say there, and then, Golden State is crazy. Like, their fans are totally locked in, right? They're win, lose, or draw, you're hearing it. They're getting kicked out the game. They're so rowdy. So those are NBA ones that come to mind currently for me.
Before you do the next one, I do have to throw in there. I thought you were gonna mention it, but I'm gonna mention it. You gotta throw in the Garden. You gotta throw in the Garden.
Boston.
You talking about Knicks?
Knicks? Oh, you talking about Madison Square? Get out of here,
Madison.
Nah.
You can't tell me that. You can't tell me that isn't an environment that you. No. I'm talking about some NBA players' best game have been in the Garden because it's the environment, the atmosphere going into there. You got to put that one on the list.
It don't not anymore. And when you say some players have their best games, guess what? It's always the away team nowadays. So I ain't with it, man. Not anymore.
When Steph Curry breaks an all-time 3-point record in there, then it kind of diminishes the home team's success when it comes to playing at home. But still, whenever you're on the away,
when you say the ambiance,
there and go out, then.
No. I may interpret the question as, like you said, that they're that 6th man or that 12th man for you. Now, the environment is absolutely awesome, but I don't feel like it's a hostile environment. I feel like everyone else, I get my one curse in on the FCC. When you go in the Garden, it's a time for the away team to bust ass, not the home, not the home team.
I'll say that it is definitely the one place that when you talk about the environment, it's better suited for the opposition rather than the home team. I'll say that is the only instance where the 6-man role is essentially reversed, right? Because it doesn't essentially help the home team play better. It helps other people coming in play better. But absolutely. Boston, Golden State, those are some great picks. I have to give it to you on those. I feel like you could throw in Staples Center, true, from time and time again, but.
Yeah, I feel like the fans, it's more like a concert than anything. So they're not really, the crowd's not really giving that kind of energy. They're there for the entertainment. They're not really there to get crazy. I will say back in the day, from one of my favorite eras, one of my favorite teams, with one of my favorite players in history, Ben Wallace. Detroit in the Palace back in the day when they beat teams 68-62. I bet that I was never there, but that had to be a crazy place to play. So I'll throw them in there too. But you said SimWorld-wise.
Yes.
Man, Atlanta, that seems like a wild place to play for me personally. Like, the crowd standing there, you got all the graffiti. You got 3 stacks, Andre Big Boy. You got pictures of the, graffiti of the greats on the wall. The ambiance is crazy, but it's a little bit of a scary environment too. I'd say G5, everyone's standing around. You're playing in a subway station, man. You don't know what the sounds are you're hearing. You don't know what's going on. You don't know if someone just got fouled or if you need to go check on your mom. I throw them in there. Indy Stripes, I like their environment, but number one in all of Sim World Hoops. I think it's hands down. You had people getting bit there, people heckling Rick Blaze. You had a kid run on the court. I believe this was the same spot where the kid ran on the court was dancing. Heartland Zombie Stars, the Riot House.
Yeah.
The Riot House, that's it. It's hands down. We can name some other ones and give some, throw yours out there. But I'm not a fan of making definitive statements. But definitively, it has to be the Riot House.
I just feel like, excuse me. I just feel like when you talk about the Riot House, and I know you're about to get a chuckle out of this one, but I remember whenever I called a game there, and they had to stop the game and restart it because an assistant coach pointed out the fact that the ball was inflated.
Inflategate.
Inflated too much. And get this one, y'all. Posing a disadvantage.
Posing a diss. Stop
both
it.
sides.
Stop it.
Which is why they had to restart the game. I'll never forget that moment. And every single time me and Yells, we talk about it or whatever it is after the case, he gets a chuckle out of it every single time. So,
man,
Riot House definitely has to be number one for me. So,
absolutely. All right, well, that's a fun topic, and that is, shout out to Heartland Zombie Stars. Shout out Renzo Bryant, one of the nicest guys in all of Sim World Hoops, in one of the craziest arenas in all of Sim World Hoops. Shout out to Coach Skinny Washington over there. You guys have quite an environment. I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys can do next season. So. Great stuff there, man. LOB. I told you I'd never shorten your name again.
It's fine. I know people got to get used to it, but
I'm not gonna do it, man. I picture myself hitting that K button with just one finger. I'm not gonna do it, man.
Right. You know what else people got to get used to?
What's that?
Getting into some great basketball that's coming up next. That's what people got to get used to. We got a great one on deck.
3 in the key.
Yacht Club, Beyond the Yards. So I know you want to say it, but this time
you got it. It's all you, man.
I want to say, it's time, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to post up. Time to get in the paint. Let's talk about this 3 in the key. Let's get to it. So, Yacht Club, one of those teams that's 13-12 on the season. Great bright spots. I feel like recently they've had a lot of changes when it comes to game planning wise and who they want to put here and there as far as putting them in the best position to win. Obviously we can't shy away from Dominic Bianco and the bright spot that he brings to this team and what he does. I mean, he averages 16.8, 4 assists, number 10 assist man for a reason, because his scoring ability is what leads to the fact that he's able to produce for others. So look tonight for the Yacht Club, Dominic Bianco, if he can get himself going to get others going. That's going to be the key thing, because if he can't get going, I feel like the people around him can't get going, right? The teammates around him can't get going, right? Look for guys like Garrett Hart, Tamir Johnson, Jay Lasser. Look for those guys to step up big as Dominic Bianco dominates and uses his force to then set up everybody else, right? Second thing, we talk about Beyond the Arch. I mean, there's a lot of names that come with this team. Daniel Ori, Keyshawn Blazing Game. I mean, we talk about Christian Kelly, and I know you guys are waiting for the name. I'm gonna get to that point last, but look at these other guys, right? This is probably one of the better 3-point shooting teams. Not the best, but definitely one of the better 3-point shooting teams in the league. So look for Beyond the Arch, not only with pest-like defense to carry them, but look for the 3 ball in this game. If the 3 ball is falling consistently for them, this could get real ugly really quick. And I feel like it's very important we pay attention to that tonight, right? If the 3-point shot is falling, I mean, they got some 3-point shooters on this team. So if the 3-point shot is falling, then look for that to be the game opener for this one. But my last point, and I think this is the big one, it's going to be the big man matchup tonight. And who?
I was wondering where that was coming.
Look, I know I wanted to save it for last, but who doesn't love a great big man matchup in any sort of basketball game? Adam Max and Tyson Simpson, respectfully, in their own rights. I mean, Adam Max 7 feet, man. A 7-foot dude. Tyshawn Simpson, 7 feet. That's 7-foot dude. So look for them to clash early, and whoever can get themselves going early on in this game, especially on the defensive end, right? It's not about who can score more offensively, because I feel like each team has scores in their own right, but whoever can make that staple moment defensively early on in this game, it's going to set the tone for the rest of the entirety of the game. Whoever can set that tone defensively between Max and between Simpson. But don't forget, these two can score in their own rights too. So let's not forget that. It's going to be a great inside matchup, center matchup, big man matchup. So I'm excited for this one, honestly. I'm real excited for this one.
Well, we're excited too. I hope all our fans are excited. You guys keep it locked. We got just a few minutes here before tip-off, LOB. Pleasure having you here. Looking forward to next week where you will be taking over for me, and this will be your thing, man. You post up as much as you want. So excited for that. You bring some good stuff to the table. As far as our fans, you guys are bringing some good stuff to the table. Make sure that y'all keep bringing your engagement, your love, and your support for SimWorld Hoops. We got a good one here in store for you. Beyond the Arc. Good Lord, Beyond the Arc. And then look, and then I say that one, Beyond the Arch. Headed into Miami. You gonna see the yacht club. So
I'm gonna have to catch my flight, get out there. But we do appreciate it. I'm excited for this one, man. So
all right, everyone, keep it locked.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the back end of our doubleheader tonight. Hopefully we've got another good matchup getting ready to tip off here. Beyond the Arch hosting Yacht Club. Yacht Club 13-12 coming into this game. Beyond the Arch, winners of 6 in a row. They're 15-11, led by their big man, center Tyson Simpson. He's going to have his hands full going up against Adam Max tonight, and those two tip it off. Simpson controls, and we're underway. Adi Lava behind the mic, joined by Siege.
Yeah, we got a big one tonight, a lot of playoff implications. We've got the Yacht Club on a big 4-game win streak, and then we've got Beyond the Arch, who, as we all know, has arguably the most dominant player in the league in Tyson Simpson going up against Adam Max. I think this is a tale of two teams with completely different play styles. You got the Yacht Club, they want to get out, run, use their guards, and then you got Beyond the Arch, who's just going to probably dominate down low with Tyson Simpson. So it'll be interesting to see who kind of has the fold to the other team's game plan.
On the way, Simpson able to recover the rebound, puts it up and in, and there is Tyson Simpson doing what he does best. Scoring down low, gets on the board first for BTA. BTA really struggled to start this year. This recent hot streak they're on, and suddenly we're talking about them as a race to one competitor.
Yeah, I mean, they had struggles all year. There was struggles with, we talked about it a lot, and I believe me and you have talked about it quite a bit. This Yacht Club team had trouble kind of establishing that identity. And recently, we're going to take a quick break, but we'll come back to that thought when we get back.
Early lead for the home team beyond the arch. 2-0 over Yacht Club, but Dominic Bianco going to the line. That was a first foul on Tyson Simpson right there. Bianco, just a couple days ago, declared that he will be taking his talents to the University of Miami. He's sticking close to home. He's going to become a Hurricane, in spite of offers from Kentucky, some other Blue Rug programs, but one of the most athletic guards in the SimWorld game, staying in the state of Florida next year.
Yeah, I think Miami's actually a great fit for him. I think he's going to thrive there. Back what we were saying before the break, I think this Yacht Club team really struggled with finding an identity a lot of this season, and that's why their record isn't as good as I think they are. Recently, what's led to kind of this win streak, they found an identity in playing tough defense and running in transition. They've got a lot of speed and a lot of talent, and it seems to be working for them. It'll be interesting to see if they're able to do that against such an imposing force like Tyson Simpson.
Simpson sets a screen, floats to the hoop. Oh, couldn't quite put the pretty little layup attempt in there, however.
It's a mismatch.
See if Max can take advantage of it, and he does. The other big man on the board, Adam Max.
And he's going to need to be big both offensively and defensively for this team. If he can get those mismatches, he's going to need to put up those points. And on the defensive end, I mean, no one is going to expect him to fully handle Tyson Simpson in a one-on-one matchup. I'm sure he'll get some help. But he's going to have to do some things, and this is one of them. He can't allow switches on Tyson Simpson. He's got to fight through screens, things like that. He's got to be smart the way he plays screens because no one else even has a shot of containing him.
Yacht Club lucky not to surrender a bucket on that last possession. Can't score on this end, and Simpson secures the rebound, dribbles up the court. Pretty good handles for a 7-footer.
Big 7-footer at that.
A sizable gentleman. Shot clock winding down below 5. See if Simpson has enough time here to make something happen. He shoots over Bianco, but can't get it to go.
Not really his game fading away like that.
Stuck there with the shot clock winding down. Now Bianco's going to try to drive in, and once again, he picks up another foul. This time, Devin Fields gets charged with it once again. Dominic Bianco will get ahead to the line. Coach Laster, the Yacht Club, pretty happy with that. Marcus Laster, Dominic Bianco, fairly automatic from the stripe.
And he's a guy who I think we've known all along. He's a superstar. He's a little undersized, but he plays hard. He'll put anyone's head on a poster. We know that about him, and I think once we see him get to the college level, maybe a little more high scoring, maybe a little more free flowing offenses, things like that. I think we're going to see him just get better and better. I don't see him as someone who's reached his potential at all.
Well, Bianco was a standout last season, his 16-year-old campaign. As a contestant in the dunk contest. Misses that free throw there, however. BTA, after that opening Simpson bucket off of the putback, have yet to find anything. But once again, Tyson Simpson has a mismatch inside, and this time gets it to go off glass. No, actually, Bianco, he's getting switched on to Simpson often. We've seen that a few couple possessions now. He's kind of held his own for him, as much as a man a foot shorter and dozens of pounds lighter can do. That will not long-term be something that's going to work for the Yacht Club over the course of a 32-minute game.
I mean, those light double teams are definitely helping, but I mean, for now, it seems like it hasn't been too detrimental, but it will be if it continues to happen.
Long shot wouldn't go there. Fields has it. Got Laster on him. He's going to try to take Laster inside, so he gives up to Simpson, but kicks the ball back out. Once again, the shot clock down to 5. Oh, look at that! Devin Fields, who's really emerging as a complimentary force to Simpson, averaging 6.8 points per game, 46% shooting, and he's SimWorld's number 5 assist man.
Well, I could rack up a bunch of assists if I was throwing the ball to Tyson Simpson too, I think, but he is very much so coming out as a great compliment to him. That's not to take away from him. That's just to highlight the effectiveness of Simpson.
Well, there's a return. Well, as I said, there's an answer from the big man from the Yacht Club. 7 foot, 250 pounds of Adam Max on the delivery there. And Also, got to credit the pass. I think that was Tamir Johnson who threaded that ball to him. Impressive assist from Johnson.
Amir Johnson, another guy on this roster who isn't seen as a star. He's not even ranked, but he's a really good player. He's the guy who I think could be a second or third option on most other teams.
Johnson came up with the steal there. Got it forward to Max, who tried a three. And that to go. You don't see Adam Max shooting a lot of threes. He hasn't made one yet this year, but hey, all's well that ends well. Shakespeare once wrote, and that's a bucket on that end. 2-point advantage now for Yacht Club.
It seems like a lot of these Yacht Club guys are staying relatively close to home. Tyshawn Ism recently committed to FGCU. Nice Florida pipeline down here in Miami.
Yeah, it's taken a little bit of a backseat to all the California and Texas talent, which has grabbed the headlines this season. But lots of talented players down in Florida, probably led by none other than Dominic Bianco, and also likes of Trey Willis, Tyshawn Ism. Still a 3-point lead for Yacht Club, and trying to add to it here, can't get it to go, but another foul called on BTA. Nobody's picked up more than one so far beyond the arch, but nice job by Coach Marcus Laster's squad, being aggressive, getting to the free throw line, and build a little bit of advantage that way so far here in this first quarter.
And that's a daunting task against this team when you got, again, not to harp on it, but the imposing force that is Tyson Simpson. It definitely alters shots and alter even people wanting to drive to the rim. So, I mean, props for them for not shying away. They know they're on a hot streak. They don't want to lose it. They want to, if they can ride this hot streak into the race to one, that's really ideal for them. So, for them, even more than the seeding battle is the momentum battle, I think, because we've seen this Yacht Club team go back and forth with their momentum all year.
Jay Laster with his second attempt. He gets it to go. Laster, 6'5", 17-year-old from Virginia Beach, averaging 14.2 points a game. He also leads the Yacht Club with 51 made threes on the season. His freebies stake him out to a 5-point lead. We're down to 2 minutes to play here in the opening frame. Gotta say, tough defense from the Yacht Club so far tonight. We're seeing it again. Simpson's not able to come up with the offensive board. And once again, an empty possession for BTA. A nice little move right there. Shot is up and in. Garrett Hart, 6'5", 16-year-old from Orlando.
He's the guy who's had some games where he's made some big impact shots and been able to come off the bench and be a real scorer for them. I mean, he's another under-the-radar guy for this team.
David Duffy, captain, coming off the bench. It's a bucket right there. Nice position inside for Graham, and his little shot goes. Devontae Graham, he's been a force, or DeMarco Graham, pardon me. Stadium announcer mispronounced it, and I followed right along with him. 6'10", 230-pounder. This is a young Yacht Club team, too. You got to kind of remember, anything they accomplished this year is gravy somewhat. They're clearly looking to the future. Outside of Bianco, which is a big exception. Most of the talent on this team will be coming back next year.
And that is a scary thought. You know, you do have to think with people transferring, getting recruited to other squads, you know, how is that going to play out? And I think what would be helpful for them to keep some of this talent is if they can make a run in the playoffs. That's going to kind of give those kids who might even have an inkling of their head of, you know, going and joining somewhere else that they want to be here. They know they can get it done.
Oh, nice inside position. It's the bucket back up and in. That was Isham there on the score. 11-point lead now for Yacht Club. Final seconds, opening quarter. It's back in Simpson's hands. That's where you think you'd want it. He gives it up, however. Three on the way, no good. Frustrating half of offense for Beyond the Arch. The home fans not loving what they saw in that first 8 minutes. It's a double-digit lead for the Yacht Clubs. Don't go anywhere. Second quarter will return to St. Louis on SimWorld TV. back here in St. Louis, but I've got some news from around SimWorld to report. A couple other final scores just in. Bay Area defeated by Lakeshore Drive. A little bit of an upset there. And a game that didn't end up being an upset, but Southeast Select needed some Prey Turner heroics to overcome the North. Almost a big signature victory from the North, but Trey and Southeast able to hang on. But back here, Yacht Club have a double-digit lead early in this one. Garrett Hart looking to extend it further, but can't get his 3 to go. Tyson Simpson still out on the court, and he pulls down the rebound.
Yeah, and I mean, that North team we do know has a tendency to try to play spoilers sometimes, and I don't know how much they would have spoiled by winning that game, but it certainly would have been a big upset that we would not have seen coming. So, I mean, props to them for putting up with a team that's that talented and that disciplined. I always enjoy watching the North put up a fight.
Yeah, it makes me feel bad, actually, for the North, for Alex Rodriguez and company in particular, a team that's definitely getting sick of having moral victories and being regarded as pesky. Wants to start with just having regular victories.
Yeah, the moral victories are good every once in a while, but you don't want every victory. You don't want to have more moral victories than you do actual victories.
Actual ones. That's the problem. That's correct.
That's not a good formula for keeping people happy.
And hey, LSD, you haven't really looked at their playoff position. I don't know if they have a race to 1 life left in them or not, but that is a big win over Bay Area. And again, it's not going to change the course of Bay Area's season, I think, but notable result from around SimWorld.
I mean, LSD, they don't necessarily. It's not a big chance, but they've got 4 or 5 games remaining. And that Bad Boys basketball team is in 8th right now at 13-3. They do have a shot, let's say they go and win out the rest of the season. There's a good chance they find themselves in that 8th spot. So, hey, I mean, it's the time of the season where you turn it on, and if you can get it done, there's room. There's room for an underdog to sneak into that 8th spot.
It is that time of the year. Better than Thanksgiving and Christmas and Hanukkah combined. Playoff time. Oh, wow. Everything really going right for Yacht Club right now. This time it's Marco Graham chipping in again. Graham, fairly statistically quiet season for him. 4 points, 4 rebounds per game, shooting 54%. But again, just another one of these 16-year-olds looks promising for the future for Yacht Club. David Duffy able to get a bucket, and Yacht Club, Coach Laster decides he wants to take a timeout there after that made shot, but it is still an 11-point advantage for Yacht Club. After that, hey, I want to remind you, this is our last game of the evening. There's no more after this tonight, but we are coming back tomorrow on SimWorld TV, Thursday. We'll kick things off, 7 o'clock Eastern. Philadelphia Elite taking on Run DMV, and that is just the first of a triple header we'll be bringing you then. So hope you will be tuned in for that one. Again, that's 7 o'clock Eastern tomorrow night.
And so far, it seems like the speed and the running of Yacht Club has outplayed the Beyond the Arch game plan of what they did in the Simpson. They're doing a really good job of they're kind of lightly double teaming Simpson when he gets the ball, not fully committing to a double team to allow him to kick out to the shooters, but doing a good job of making him hesitate for a second and kind of throwing him off his game with that.
Well, Simpson battling there for that rebound, couldn't come up with it. Everything on offense has been a struggle. BTA tonight, and credit Yacht Club. Doing some good defense as well. Oh, behind the back there. 50 little move. Oh, Adam Max. Well, we got a game within a game here, as we've been talking about. There's obviously the important team versus team battle going on between these two teams. And by the way, you mentioned earlier, Yacht Club's won 4 in a row. Beyond the Arch won 6 as Adam Max steals. That's just a bad pass trying to force it into Simpson.
Well,
but somebody's got to lose tonight.
Yeah, one of those.
If the home team doesn't wake up and dunked on by Bianco, ought to make him wake up, you'd think. But ETA looking in trouble so far tonight. Yacht Club doing what they want.
And you know what? Yeah, I really think, and we've said this before, is they knocked down a big 3 to cut the deficit at least a little bit. We talked about it before. this Yacht Club team is the kind of team that, yes, they struggle with some identity, but they're starting to get it together. I think they're a dangerous 7 seed if that's where they stay going into the playoffs. If I'm a 2 seed, I worked hard to get that 2 seed all year, and I got to go against the Yacht Club. I mean, that's a little disappointing. And that being said, I really think their X factor for the rest of this year in the playoffs is Adam Max. When Adam Max can play like, you know, let's throw it back to his debut where he had that monster game. If he can play anywhere near that, this Yacht Club team is twice as dangerous as they are when he's playing, you know, a normal game. So if he can kind of pick it up, and he's playing great tonight, he is their X factor to me.
Oh, Max got the second steal in a row on the other end as they continue to try to force the ball to Simpson, but Max, some heady defensive play. As you see there, it turns into points for the Yacht Club. They are back on top by 15 once again. Horry going to try for 3. Hit one a second ago. He gets another. Daniel Horry. That is his 65th made 3. He came into the game as the number 6 player in SimWorld, made 3s. Also 6th in three-point percentage, shooting 54%. And here's a steal. A momentum shift maybe for BTA. Look at that. Nick Bowie. Lead down to 10. This is as close as it's been for some time. Crowd is engaged in the game as they've been for some time, I would say, too. Oh, look at that pass. Oh, my Lord. Highlight pass there. One of the best that you might see all year from Dominic Bianco. We're going to be seeing that on the SimWorld Discord later.
And you know what I'm noticing a lot, the play of Adam Max has been great tonight offensively, defensively, but I think what's playing a big part in neutralizing Tyson Simpson, specifically on the defensive side, is Adam Max does have somewhat of a perimeter game to him, kind of a mid-range game. He's great at setting those, we just saw there, that backdoor screen kind of at the elbow. And what that does is it kind of draws Tyson Simpson out of the paint. It doesn't let his presence kind of affect down there quite as much as we're used to. So, you know, I'm not going to say that Tyson Simpson, you know, and Adam Max are on a similar level because we all know that's not quite true. But I do think Adam Max does have things that make him a tougher matchup for a team that relies on Simpson so much.
Adam Max has been a great addition to this Yacht Club squad. And if you're out there watching this right now on SimWorld TV, you could be a great addition to the SimWorld Sports Media team. We are currently recruiting people to join us. Writers, hey, if you have sultry, smooth voices like me and Siege, you could even find yourself behind a microphone here calling games. If you're interested, come check us out, discord.gg/SimWorldNBA. We'd love to add you to the squad here, get you involved in our world. In our world, it's Yacht Club's world right now, doing pretty much what they want. Lead was chopped down to 10 a second ago, but just 2:17 to go here in the first half. It has been Yacht Club all the way so far.
I mean, they're playing to their game. They're really utilizing Adam Max to neutralize Tyson Simpson a lot, and I'm going to keep talking about it because that is the key to this game for them. And if they can keep doing that, they're gonna keep this lead, and here they go with another stop, and they're gonna be able to get out and run.
Max is still out there, but Simpson has gone to the bench here for the final 2 minutes of the first half. Probably not going to come back until after the halftime break. Bianco out there with Max, and Bianco gets a screen from Max, attacks the hoop. Can't get the bucket to go, but once again draws a foul for the third time. Dominic Bianco shooting from the charity stripe.
Dominic Bianco.
He's so good at getting to the rim. He's got great body control inside, often can get the hoop and the harm, if you will. And it's just, he reminds me of a much quicker Trevor Relaford at times. Trevor Relaford played for Alabama back in, I want to say, 2012, 2011, something like that. And he was the best in the SEC at the time at kind of controlling his body and finishing in the lane. Was a thicker guy, so in that aspect, he reminds me of him. Now, he's got a lot more star power than that guy did, but that's something that you need to have if you're a 6-foot guard who goes to the rim quite as often as he does.
Oh, 4 for 5 from the stripe so far. Make it 5 for 6 for Bianco, and the lead is back up to 14. This is an issue, too, for Beyond the Arch, beyond the fact that they're losing this game. Simpson on the bench. This team, not very big, not very deep down low. so let's stay here. Subs coming in the game. Jay Laster returning to the court.
What's your take on if Tyson Simpson's kind of got a chance, got a conversation at actually winning Player of the Year? Like, I know he's kind of the fifth guy that gets thrown in there if you got to come up with five behind all the guards with Bronny and LDO and DJ and Trey. Do you think he has a legitimate case at being the Player of the Year?
Oh, well, there's a nice drive in a bucket there. Here's what I actually think. This isn't even me necessarily stating my opinion or how I'm giving my own vote, but what I think psychology of the voting members of the public and the media will be is that if BTA, if this, if they do lose tonight and Jay Laster is trying to make sure that happens, he gets put back there, and their 6-game win streak that we've just witnessed is their high point of the season. They either fall out of the race to one or they get beat early on in it, and they're an afterthought of a year. As good as Tyson has been and as good as his stats are, I don't think he has almost any chance at being named SimWorld Player of the Year. However, should we continue to go on this hot streak, maybe they start by coming back here in the second half, pull off an incredible rally to win this one, the hot streak going, get into the race to one, and maybe get into the, last four, maybe into the championship game, hey, maybe even win it all. If they do that, you're going to know they did that on the back of one man and one man only, and that's Tyson Simpson. And if they do that, I don't know how you can't psychologically give him the MVP award. So maybe more than Bronny, maybe more than DJ and some of these other guys, Lasterius Outlaw we're talking about. Simpson's fate in that regard may be more team-oriented than all the rest of them. And so far,
you can say
it's a what?
Pretty good take there. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I like that. Well, give me your take now, Siege, on what happened to Simpson and friends in that first half, and can they do anything to get back in it in the second half?
Well, I'll harp on it again. I really think Adam Max has been the X factor in this one. More than him, I mean, they're playing really good defensive scheme on Tyson Simpson. They're hitting that kind of light double team, as I keep calling it. Bring someone over to kind of jab at him, but not all the way over to kind of mess up the defensive flow and the rotations. Doing a really good job of that. And then on the other side, when they do have to run a half-court offense, which they've been doing a really good job of tonight, given what Yacht Club has done all season. They're using Adam Max in a way that is getting him out on the perimeter and therefore pulling out the imposing size and force of Tyson Simpson, making it easier to go to the rim. I love what I'm seeing from the Yacht Club. Beyond the Arch has got to find a way to get Tyson Simpson going, though.
Second half coming up. Don't go anywhere. SimWorld TV returns to St. Louis in just a few seconds.
Welcome home.
Mom, Dad, this is Cindy.
Cindy, yes.
So nice to meet both of you.
It's nice to meet you finally. Travis has told us so much about you.
All good things, I hope.
Yes, of course.
Good.
Please,
Thank
welcome.
you.
Oh, Mom, no. Dad, this is Shannon.
Oh, hi.
Shannon.
And this is Aaron.
Hey, cutie.
That is Jessica. Jenny, Sarah, Megan,
Hi.
Nicole, Elizabeth.
Acts. Use in moderation.
Still a big lead for the traveling team, Yacht Club, north from Miami. Well, at home in the Midwest right now, they've got a 14-point advantage and the ball. Start of the second half. Jay Laster, 6 points and 8 rebounds for him, but he turns it over right there.
Well, something you see a lot when you've got bigs going at it like this is Adam Max is doing a great job of keeping Tyson Simpson off the boards. And since he's putting all his effort into boxing him out and keeping him away, Jay Laster's been able to run in there and, grab a few. So that's just another effect that Adam Max is having on this game right now.
Yeah. Normally, if you said Adam Max had 1 rebound at halftime, you'd be thinking the Yacht Club is in trouble and Max has had a poor game. Anything but that tonight. But 6 points, 1 rebound. Max gives it up right there. Ooh, I thought Bianco was going to launch a 3 from the corner for a second. That's not necessarily his best skill. Instead, gives it to Laster, who's once again in trouble and once again loses the handle.
And something that's been shocking to you, we were looking at it at the half, is Yacht Club is dominating the boards tonight. And I would call that shocking to me. But again, just goes back to they're putting a body on Tyson Simpson. They're making it hard on him. They're making him work.
Look at that. Yeah, really cut Simpson out on that play. As a result, have to get it to some of his teammates and just not able to get it done there. The time Sean Blasingame had it rejected. Yacht Club comes up short on the 3 on their possession, however. Daniel Horry, he splashed 2 threes. He's got the ball right now. Is it up to Blasingame? Oh, nice drive. Nice layup. AB, you love me. Nice little drive right there. Here's Tashawn Issam handling up top. He's kind of got that signature red shoe and pink sock look. I like it myself, Siege.
Oh, you know, I like a little individuality on the court when it comes to those kind of things.
Absolutely. I like my basketball with a little bit of sartorial flair, and Yacht Club, bring it.
That was the exact phrase I was thinking of too. He nailed it.
Did a little time in England where I tended to wear suits and kind of dress nicely, and words like sartorial got in my vocabulary there. Look at this. The defense really has been reignited. The BTA end, they've only chipped into this lead 4 points from halftime, 10-point margin, but they've definitely turned it up on the defensive end, and I think it's starting to translate on the offensive side. Look at that.
Well, we saw in the game before this, Beast of the East kind of came
Look at
back.
this, look at this.
Had a great second half, and it looks like Beyond the Arch kind of follows suit.
Blasingame ties up Bianco. Now, Bianco can jump through the rafters, but Blasingame does have a size advantage. Let's see if he controls the tip here, and he does. Eight-point margin, closest we've been since the first quarter.
Yeah, and they've been doing it without Tyson Simpson kind of having much of an impact, which is honestly a great sign.
Ooh. Long rebound, but it ends up in the Yacht Club. Forward here. Yeah, Bianco wants this, and I can see that coming, and he flushes with the right hand. Well, encouraging start for BTA. They've chipped away at things a little bit. They want a timeout here. Coach Laster wants to talk it over after Issam got that easy 2 inside, but I want to remind everybody to come join us. Mentioned earlier we're looking for sports media folks, but you know what we're always looking forward to are people who want to join this game. You too. Be like the coach of BTA, Coach Kusa. Finland in his second season. 24 wins, 19 losses overall, and he's been running the show during this winning streak. Or you could be a player. Like Daniel Horry, who's hit some threes from this game so far, trying to bring Beyond the Arch back. All you got to do is let us know what you're interested in, fill out an application, and join SimWorld. Come to our Discord to do so. It's discord.gg/SimWorldNBA.
You can see the game, be the game, call the game, write the game.
That's right.
We got
Write
it
the
all.
game, call the game. Well, we're calling one here right now, which is threatening to turn into a battle. BTA just looking to steadily chip away here. They didn't get themselves into the big deficit in one possession, and they're not going to get it back in one, but they're going to get it back like this. Daniel Horry having a nice night so far, and I'd be really encouraged if your Coach Kusa seeing this too. Horry, just under 10 points per game, shooting 50% field, and a nice evening, but Garrett Hart has also come off the bench having a nice night tonight. I have noticed him and been impressed with him.
No, and he just comes out of nowhere sometimes and just like has some crazy shots he hits, makes some crazy plays. I love Garrett Hart. I think again he's another guy on this Yacht Club team. If you put him on a lot of other teams around the league, he would have a much bigger role.
Simpson with the bucket there. One of the rare times he's gotten the better of Adam Max. Sorry, excuse me. I think that's Graham, Max on the bench. Maybe that's why part of the BTA plan here is to feed Big Tyson, trying to work free. Look at him battling against these Yacht Club defenders, force him to get it out beyond the 3-point line.
It's in the name, beyond the arch. Get out there.
Pull up jumper, free throw line jumper goes. That's David Duffy. He was the starting point guard last year for a team then known as St. Louis Stars. Six-point game now, 3 minutes to go, third quarter. Ooh. Well, that's going to stay down here on this end. Nice defensive effort from Yacht Club, but 15 on the reset shot clock. And you see some more subs coming in. Tyson Simpson getting a rest. So again, these are interesting minutes to watch for Beyond the Arch when they're defensive stopper and number one option on offense. It's a breather.
And we don't have Adam Mack back in the game. I'm guessing he's going to come back in when Tyson comes back in at this point, but it'd be interesting to see how they play that as well.
Shot clock winding down here. He's going to have to force up a three and nailing it.
All right. That'll work. That'll work.
Holy. 3-point game, one possession game. This lead had been as much as 15, I believe, was the maximum. The Yacht Club got it out too, but BTA can tie it up with another three on this possession.
They've got some shooters. Don't let them get free.
Cut inside again to Boogie, and he lays it up and in. 1-point ball game. 7.5 points and 2.5 rebounds per game. 6'7", 200-pounder out of Lexington. If the last 5.
If I'm Yacht Club, I'm looking to get Adam Max back in the game immediately. I want him back in on the next dead ball.
He has to take the lead for the second time actually. Oh, but a block. Gets the rebound. Second chance opportunity taken away.
Cookies.
Sigh of relief from the Yacht Club bench there. BTA actually did take the lead in this game. They were ahead 2-0 early on. Tyson Simpson got the opening bucket, but it had been all Yacht Club since.
Let's see if they can put together a little run here, get this lead back up to what it was.
Meanwhile, for BTA, definitely wanting to hang around, if not get the lead back. Oh, but that's a nice little slip inside there. Marco Graham, he's one for the future, folks, for sure.
I feel like
Under a minute to go.
Most of this Yacht Club team is for the future, which is wild.
Yeah. Tough shot, won't go there for Bowie.
Here comes Yacht Club back on the offensive a little bit in terms of momentum.
Oh, it looks like Graham is feeling pretty aggressive. Oh, look at that! The up and under move. Wow.
Was that DeMarco Graham or Hakeem the Dream with that footwork? What did we just see there?
DeMarco Graham, Adam Max's understudy. And hey, I got some game too. Watch me, folks. Well, this had been a 1-point game. Yacht Club gaining their composure over the last 90 seconds here or so, and they lead by 7, looking to extend that as we come up on the final seconds of the quarter. Turnaround jumper. Wow. Jay Laster having a nice night, punctuating it there. Lead, which had shrunk to 1, is back up to 9, but hey, we just saw BTA has a run left in them yet, and Tyson Simpson caught his breath those past couple minutes. Let's come back. 1 minute, get into this fourth quarter.
SK, let it play, boy.
Nine-point lead for the Yacht Club, and they've got 8 minutes to close this one out, get their 5th straight win, and improve to 14-12 in the competitive Tropic Division. They are currently 2nd.
And I'll tell you what, E, if you're beyond the arch to kind of maybe have a chance of putting this one in, it'd be really nice to see Tyson Simpson show up, although a lot of his teammates have been stepping up tonight to kind of keep them in this game even just a little bit, but they need their guy to show up in this quarter.
Jay Laster has kind of quietly shown up all game long. He may be in our MVP of the game, player of the game discussion. On a double-double here, and he just splashed a big 3, restores a 10-point advantage. Simpson, that's just a tough shot, and he can't get it to go.
I mean, he's a really physically imposing guy. The turnarounds, the faders are not really his game.
Well, to their credit, Yacht Club has really sort of forced him into that too tonight, not giving him the kind of position and shots he's comfortable with. Oh, battling around there for the rebound, can't come up with it. Second chance opportunity, won't go, and this time Simpson pulls down the rebound.
Yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of credit has to go to Yacht Club, to this coaching staff, to the players for the way that they game plan for Tyson Simpson. They've done a really, really good job at containing him.
Tried to go inside there, had it rejected. Oh, just off the rim there. Johnson couldn't get his little floater to go. Still a 10-point lead for Yacht Club. Simpson once again gets it. Down there on the post where he wants it. Oh, once again, great defense, and that's not Max out there either, folks. That is actually Rizzo Davis right still. At least Hughes out there. Oh boy, that's a nice block from Simpson. This does not bode well for BTA that they've not been able to get much going here with Simpson out there while Max is on the bench.
Yeah, he's even getting this one-on-one now, and it's still not going for him.
Yeah, no, just good solid defense, good positioning by Davis Wright still. Doing exactly, I'm sure, what the coach told him to do. Just play him tough, body him. 3 on the way. Oh, that's a dagger right there.
That hurts, that hurt. And this is the time, we're coming down to the time where you got to get yourself back in striking position so that hopefully with about two and a half minutes left, you're only down 4 to 6, something like that, and you've actually got a chance to do something.
Oh, another swat inside. Simpson able to cover it, however. Blazenbeam trying to find an angle, not really finding one. Gets the shot up, and it won't go. Yacht Club has just turned up the defense all night long. Perhaps not any time more so than these last few minutes. Nice drive inside from Bianca. Oh, he's disappointed he didn't get the shot to go, but once again, going to the line.
And yeah, I think you make a good point there. Their defense has looked phenomenal tonight, and it's really just gotten better and better as the season gone on. And I think once they committed to their identity kind of being defense and then getting out in transition and running, a lot of other things have kind of fallen into place for them too. One, their defense has gotten noticeably better once they've committed to that. 2, I think it's put less pressure on their half-court offense, and when they've had chances to run a half-court offense, we've seen them with a little more action, a little more motion, and I mean, as we know, when a team finds their identity, a lot of things fall into place, and that's, I think, what we're seeing with Yacht Club in this stretch of the season.
Yanko, who's basically taken out a lease on the free throw line tonight. This is his first one. Second one also off the mark. Something of a break for BTA there, but they need to use that to their advantage, and pretty much all the possessions left in this game. There you go, a rare free attack on the rack for Tyson Simpson.
It might be too little too late, but there is plenty of time. They just got to start getting these stopped together.
Quick shot there from Laster. He's had a great game. That wasn't exactly what they needed. Quick pull-up three on that possession. Horry, who's been nice tonight, can't get that one to go, though. Max back in the ball game, and he does secure the rebound.
He's going to run with it himself. Point guard.
Well, he found us in a nice position. Little turnaround wouldn't go, however. Teams getting quick shots up, racing up and down the court now at this phase of the game. Blasingame was going to consider a three right there.
Oh, look at that mismatch. Look at that mismatch. Why are we switching back?
Oh! Nice drive. Couldn't get the shot to go, but Blasingame will go to the line. Chance to get some points while the clock isn't running. Always what you want in this scenario. Blasingame, just 16 years old. And again, it's beyond the Arch team, as it has more than a few youngsters on it. Daniel Horry, we've been talking up tonight, only 15, but Blasingame, 6'4". Swing guard forward out of Junction City, Kansas. Averaging 5 points, 3.7 rebounds, 3.2 assists per game. Pretty nice all-around game from KB.
Nice little versatile game. You gotta love that.
1-point margin now, 3:37 to go. Still plenty of time for BTA to come back in this.
Yeah, but it's got to start right now. There is time, but there's no time to waste at this point, if that makes sense.
Oh, nice feed inside. Damir Johnson, Jay Laster picked him out, camping out underneath the hoop, and an easy two. Horry behind the back. Now he's going to take a long two. Can't get it to go. Foul, and that's going to go on Simpson. That's his third.
That's his third personal foul.
And it looked like Bianco was being a little pest down there on the boards, kind of boxing out, and Simpson got frustrated and just kind of threw him to the side.
I don't think that's unusual at all from Dominic Bianco. I would say opponents of the Hurricanes, get ready to see that a lot this coming year or two or three, however long Dominic is in school there.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was only a year, to be honest.
Damir Johnson once again. Again, not necessarily a lot of highlight reel stuff, but Tamir Johnson getting it done this evening. Beyond the Arch, Coach Kusa wants a timeout. See if he's got anything up his sleeve to erase a 14-point deficit with 2:33 to go in this game.
Kids like their mind been down for day one. Baby, can you find that? Same goals, same dreams, one team. Tell me where your loyalty lie, yeah. Same place that I lie, yeah. In your eyes, body, soul, and mind. Where cosmos divine, yeah. In the wound of the queen, making love so supreme. Catching dreams of a fiend. Got a lady, got a lean, got a sauce, got a drip, got a drown. And it's going down. I don't wanna fall for you. It's something I can't kick it now. I'm struggling.
Jay Laster leading all scorers with just 11 points in what has turned out to be a defensive battle. Perhaps the most shocking stat, Tyson Simpson averaging more than 20 points a game. He's just got 8 right now.
Yeah, I mean, props to the Yacht Club. They did a great defensive scheme on him, and then it was kind of clear as the game went on that Tyson Simpson was frustrated. He seemed frustrated with his lack of, production tonight, and it definitely made a difference down the stretch.
Well, Simpson up to 10 now with that last bucket. Get one more rebound. He'll have a double-double. It's not going to mean a whole lot, thanks a lot to the efforts of players like Tamir Johnson. And Tamir Johnson is now the high point man in this contest. He's got a dozen. Oh, wait.
Ooh.
He's tied with Simpson.
Well, I mean, Simpson's stat line is always going to look at least a little bit impressive, even on his worst days.
12 points, 9 boards for Simpson, but it's a 12-point deficit, and we're under 2 minutes to play here. A game that is pretty much decided. There's Tyson's double-double wrapped up, but not the most impressive double-double you're ever seen, and it's definitely going to come in a losing effort.
Well, the stat watchers will be pleased with him, and that's all that matters.
Well, he's adding to it right now. In fact, this is most effective and aggressive I think that we've seen Simpson be all game.
Yep, a little too late, but
way too late. Dominic Bianco, had the ball taken away from him right there. Bianco's only got 2 shots in the game now. He's 5 for 8 from the free throw strike.
Okay.
3 cuts it to 7. Minute 4 left. Have we been singing their swan song too early, Siege?
Wait just a minute, E.
Gotta get a stop on this possession. Gotta get a stop. Max gonna try to take it right in and through Simpson, and he does.
Wow. What a big-time play from Adam Max against Tyson Simpson. I mean, that one, you're going to look back on this game and on the run that almost was from beyond the arc, and you're going to look at that play.
Well, Simpson, two-handed dunk, throws it down there. I'm a little bit surprised not to see a foul here, but you've got to get a stop if you're not going to come out instantly foul. Bianco trying to drive inside on Blasingame. His shot won't go. Rebound fought over, ends up with Laster. And seconds on the shot clock. Well, foul still not coming.
I think they just want to get out of here.
So a little bit of time on the clock. I think that was a mistake there. I think they should have fouled. Could have had a better shot at this, but not going to be. Not the night that St. Louis fans came out hoping to see. High point man is Tyson Simpson. He ended up with 16, but victory belongs to that team in blue. The Yacht Club wins their 5th in a row. ETA has their winning streak snapped. Applications for the race to 1 ripple throughout SimWorld Hoops. Well, everybody who's been with us tonight on the doubleheader, thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed the post-up. Want to remind you one more time, we are coming back doing it all again tomorrow, beginning 7 o'clock Eastern. Triple header coming your way on SimWorld TV then. My own good self, Lava, for my broadcasting partner in crime, Siege, and for Yells and everybody else behind the scenes at SimWorld. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for being part of SimWorld, where you see the game, be the game.